And again, it stores really well, as I mentioned in the previous video.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Loads more.
Hello. Let me just position you correctly. That's one of my favourite chat up lines. It's not. It's not. I've never. Oh, we've got slow mode on. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. We don't need to go any slower. You know, it's not like we've got a million people with us. You know, we just have a fag. It's took a little while to get all this set up. I wonder how Americans think. You know, when you go, I'm just going to have a fag. You know, it's like, Marlene, yes, honey. This guy's just about to smoke a homosexual. Are you sure? That's what he said. He's going to light up a fag. Or, what are you having for dinner? Do you know what I'm having for dinner? I'm going to have some faggots. Marlene, yes, honey. This guy's going to cannibalize a homosexual. Are you sure that's what he says? Yep. Actually, I think over the years they've gotten used to us, you know, and we've gotten used to them. And some of them get Monty Python, and not many people can get Monty Python. It's a little bit out there. Anyway, enough of fags and faggots. No offense to anybody. Good evening, Michael. Hey up, Dave, me out China. Hope you're all right. And hello, Ruthie. Hello. Back at you, sweetheart. As you and Hobby. You all right? You all good? I hope so. Yeah, good to see you too. Yeah, yesterday I had something to eat, and then about 10 minutes later, something like that, I just felt like I weighed like a ton, you know. I was just so heavy. I can't really explain it. I didn't feel sick. I didn't feel nauseous or, you know, an irregular temperature, or there was no other signs. It was just, I was like a dead weight, just all of a sudden. So I thought I'll go and sit down in the front room. And as I was approaching the front room, the stairs were on the right hand side, and I thought, actually, this is more of a lie down than a sit down. And I just went upstairs, just lay on the bed, and I just sank into the bed. It was very strange. And then I just fell asleep, and then I woke up about 9:30, and I just thought it's too late to do a live stream now. I mean, 9 o'clock's a bit late for some people, you know. But after I'd had that sleep, I was fine. So I've got no idea what that was all about. Absolutely no idea whatsoever, you know. There's so much. I'm sure it's not, you know, some fucking spook somewhere trying to zap me with some sort of mind control fucked up thing. I don't think it's anything like that, but that technology is out there. It is. I mean, when I see people with these AirPods in their ears, I look at them, I just think, you're such a fucking idiot. You're such an idiot. You're one of these twats, right? And I mean that, a proper twat. So if you've got those AirPods, if you own a set of AirPods, you're a twat. You are a twat. Because all you've done is you've thought, this is the latest thing. I want to have the latest thing because I like to have the latest thing without doing any research whatsoever into them. None. It's just a blind purchase. And they're quite expensive as well. So, oh, for fuck's sake. They don't slot onto these very well. I might have to swap them over in a minute. But let me just explain this, right? So you've got people out there, because of the price of these things, people out there that are paying they're paying in installments for these these AirPods, paying in installments to literally have their brains fried. They might as well just stick their head inside a microwave and then put it on full blast. It's ridiculous. It's so bad. And the technology that's gone into them, it's so bad. I hope none of you guys have got anything like that, you know. I really hope not. Oh man. So did a little food prep haul earlier on. Really chuffed that Michael's missus had a watch. Quite possibly her first ever food prep haul video. Because I think a lot more people are starting to realise just how practical and important it is. By way of just a security measure. You can't live without sustenance. You can't survive without food and water. So, and there are loads and loads of people now all across America that are sat there thinking, why didn't we get some extra food in? We've got no food. Well, honey, you see, we both retards, honey. We don't think ahead because we're fucking stupid. And I don't care if that offends anybody because it's just common sense. Common sense. So there's going to be people, but then my heart goes out to the elderly because we're looking at prolonged freezing temperatures. I mean, even trees can sort of explode. Let me just double check that because I don't like putting false information out there. But if that's the case, there's loads of like streets in England, right the way across Europe, America, the whole of the West that are just lined with trees, but they're also lined with power lines. So if those trees land on the power lines, that's your electricity gone. And if that's happening, on every street, there's no way that they can repair that infrastructure overnight. So people are going to go without electricity. And then the worst thing, I think, because I can go without electricity, no problem. Water, I've got enough to because water's a bastard because it's bulky, right? But I'd be okay. I would be okay for quite a while. But what would do my head in that sort of situation where everything's just flash frozen almost are burst pipes. That's bad because you can end up flooding your home. And I'm not a plumber. And plumbers, there aren't enough plumbers out there to go around fixing everyone's burst pipes. Why does that keep coming on? It's doing my fucking nutting. Let me just catch up on this. I've been eating quite a bit of fermented foods this past week. Brilliant, Dave. I want to go on to something about in regards to gut health. My guts have felt great, even though I've had a cold lull. Yeah, well, imagine how bad your cold could have been if it wasn't for the fact that you are building up a decent, really, really good, healthy gut biome. So I had an epiphany, and I don't know why. Let me just catch up first and make sure I don't get behind. You're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, as we all seem to be. Yeah, we are. We are. It's because of what we know, And there are people out there that don't know and don't care, and there are people out there that suspect, but it's just far too overwhelming for them to just sit down and absorb it and get to where we are. We've been through the pain. We've been through that mental fucking torture. We've been through all that. But it's built up. It's given us all a tolerance for it. So, in a lot of cases, in a lot of ways, we're taking all this on so that a lot of people don't have to. I don't like headphones. Never mind earpods. Yeah, I do like headphones because I don't like to. I'm constantly listening. I'm just constantly taking information in all the time. But I don't want to be one of these people that's just, back in the day, when we were in our teens, if our headphone jack fell out of our Walkman, our tape player, and all of a sudden it was like, we'd be like, panicking to put it back in. Now, buses are full of fucking retards where it's like, yeah, no, yeah. So what we'll do? Hold on. Yeah, what we'll do? You get the idea. They just don't give a fuck. So I do like to be discreet, and headphones do the job. But I try to wear the wired stuff, and I get all caught up in the cables. It gets on my tits. So I have got some headphones that are Bluetooth, but Bluetooth's bad for your brain as well, but nowhere near those AirPods. They're so bad, so bad. Literally frying people's brains. And they can also implant information and alter do some research into them. Because I don't want to sound like some fucked up, mad, crazy conspiracy theorist, even though I am one. Yay, I'm not a twat. I'm very glad to hear that, Ruth, and I never thought you were. So that comment does not come as a surprise to me. Normal headphones stuck in my ears right now. It's good. You can't beat the normal ones. And if anything, normal ones, because of the magnets in them. No, that was just some random thought I had in my head that probably doesn't work, but they're definitely better for you than unwired Bluetooth and whatever this crazy new tech is that's in these AirPods. And we wonder why we're walking around and seeing people being more erratic and showing signs of just being a little bit kind of stupid. A lack of mindfulness, a lack of spatial awareness, a lack of a lot of things. And I've noticed it. Again, I have said in the past, is it because we're sort of on this journey now, on this path, and we're paying attention to shit, and we've got a very, very good grasp on what's going on around us. So we're kind of growing and maybe outgrowing a lot of people around us, or are they genuinely becoming more and more? Again, I'm use the word retarded, or is it a bit of both? I'm just glad that I'm aware of what I'm aware of. I would never go back in time and take the blue pill. Never. As hard as it's been. I forgot what I was going to say. She particularly liked your quinoa info. You explained. Oh, that went all quick. You explained it way better than I did. Another thing about quinoa let me just catch up on all of the comments first, and I'll come back to that, Michael, because there's a quinoa issue, right? And that's not something I ever thought I'd ever say. Hubby sat next to me. Hello, hubby. You all right, mate? How you doing? I'll stick it in heat. I wish I'd worn I haven't got a tartan flat cap, but I wish I had one. I might buy one. But yeah, good. I'm glad you've joined us, Stewie. Much love, my friend. Got watching the 1% Club. He still keeps talking to me. What's the 1% Club? Is that some sort of sordid like wife swapping thing? I don't know. I do apologise. I don't know where that came from, because I know you're a very wholesome lady. Got a new bit of kit this week. A Jaguar 2, being like a kid at Christmas. What's a Jaguar 2? Is that a car, as in a car? Or have you literally got a very dangerous, fucking massive, man-killing cat in your front room? If you don't mind just clarifying. Yeah, same here, Ruth. See, I'm a bit behind, but I've still got quinoa. Just need to get a decent target block. Are we talking about a crossbow here? I'm sure I'll read it. Oh, right, there we go. Yeah, right. It's suddenly gone in. So I do apologise, Dave. Decent crossbow. Decent. Get some practice in, my friend. Get some practice in. And just keep going back and back and back and back. Get the target further and further and further away from you. But the further away, you need to tilt up because of the travel. But again, it depends on the feet per second. Decent target block. I've needed something with a bit of range, hoping that the local archery club allows them. I'm not sure if they do or not, because it's not really, I don't think it's really seen as archery, you know. But I'm just glad you've got one. I just think everyone should have one. I think it's, yeah, you know. I'm surprised they're even legal in this country. Maybe they won't be for long. But yeah, try fucking disarming me, you know. You'll get a bolt in the head. You will. You don't belong in my house. Come into my house, you're mine. You're fucking mine. Foam targets are good for crossbows, Dave. Or get something a bit tougher. Yeah. These are perfect for crossbows. Really, really good, really, really durable, because with foam, eventually you end up ploughing massive holes, big chunks, massive holes, especially if you get good enough to get a good group in, you end up causing a lot of damage to the foam. Whereas with these, it goes in between the fibers, so it kind of, when you pull it back out again, it just comes back together again. So these are a really, really good investment, and they're not expensive. Again, I didn't get this off Temu, but Temu do sell them. Temu sell everything. You get a lot of YouTube channels where they'll buy stuff on Temu, or Temu will give them shit for free, and then they just that's all they do. They just talk about Temu stuff because they get free shit, you know. Whereas I probably wouldn't be very good at that, because I'd go, this is shit. This is shit. But then I've not had any crap stuff off there. Not really. Maybe one or two things, but not much. And yeah, your bolts will be protected with that as well, as long as you've not got like metal behind it or anything like that. Mine is called a Mantis. I've got a Mantis too, Ruth. I swear by them. I think they're one of the best out there. You can get one. I forgot what it's called now, but it's basically just a Mantis with an extra with a butt, you know, just for extra stability. But I don't think you need that. All you need is that. Well, that. Well, yeah, good choice there, Ruth. Cool. This is 175. Nice. Need to stock up on some heavy duty bolts, but after an £80 man Kung pistol. One holds 7 bolts. Can you imagine that? A semi-automatic crossbow. Bomb, bomb. I'll tell you what, Dave, if you can send me, because I can't screenshot this, if you can send me an email or a link to something like that so I can look up prices and stuff like that, because it's like, even though they're self-cocking, put one in, take the safety off, fire, repeat. It all takes time. So if you've got something that can just load, fire, click, load, fire, you know, if you've got something like that, very impressive. Yeah, Dave O, the elephant hunter. Yeah, we should make a film out of you, Dave. How did you have that right there, Terry? Do you know what? I've got everything to hand. I'm prepared. I even right, let me just cover the quinoa thing. Nicely, I like that emoji, very appropriate there, Michael. Get as much quinoa in as you possibly can, because there are going to be shortages, especially organic, and especially the red and the brown. But that it's going to affect quinoa, full stop. I've noticed that the bag that I bought was probably about 2/3 the size of the original bags that I used to buy. So it's gone down by 1/3 in size, but it hasn't gone down by 1/3 in price. It's still gone up. So I'm paying more than I did for one that had 1/3 more in it. So if you can afford it, stock up on quinoa, because it's so good for you. Just give it a good rinse in a colander, you know, under some good quality water. Give it a good rinse before you cook it. You'll be golden. It's so good for you. Like I said, it's a complete protein. How many foods can you say that about? Not many. It's a standalone hero, especially for prepping. It really, really, really is. Oh, Dave, look what you've done to Ruth. She was wholesome. Now she's got a thirst for blood. You know, I can just picture her now. Stewie, put that apple on your head. I said, put that fucking apple on your head, Stewie. All right. Calm down, Ruth. Fuck me. Oh, you nearly took my fucking heat off. Went to a wacky little shop today. I met up with my dad, you know, on a Saturday instead of a Wednesday. And I bought myself a very, very appropriate fridge magnet and a couple of thimbles. Never ever thought I'd buy a thimble, but it's you know, a very, very useful bit of kit to have. If you we're going to be mending our own clothes, we're going to be fixing our own clothes, we're going to be learning to darn socks and all of that shit. If you want to operate outside of the system, a mend and make do society, which is how it used to be. So this is my fridge magnet. Thimbles, you know, again, if you end up jabbing your finger with a needle, now, what's the big deal? There's no big deal. You just jabbed yourself with a pin, you know, with a needle. That's it. But in the future, if you have a pin that's got a little bit of bacteria on it, a needle, and it goes into your finger, you could end up, it could end up going septic. And in order for you to seek out hospital treatment, even if that may not even be an option further down the line, these, again, we've got to be so careful. We've got to look after ourselves. We really have, right? So I've got a wooden one. I might draw a little face on there. Bring another character in, like Vera and Frank. And then I saw this metal one. It was only 50p. Look at that. Not very practical, though, as a thimble. I've only just realised that. That beak's going to get in the way. I have a bad influence on folk. Yeah, well, depends what you call bad, my friend. You know, I'd like to call it. Yeah, it's a good influence. It's good. It's a good thing. If we can get other people to think about, because defense is going to be everything. You've got you've all got lots of stuff that other people are going to want because they didn't think ahead. Look at America. There are countless supermarkets that have been stripped. Now, we knew that sort of thing was inevitable at some point in the future, which is why we prepare. But you would think that there would be more. I mean, prepping was a much bigger deal in America, I think, anyway. And like, you know, making their own bullets, you know, with a proper press, making their own bullets, all manner of stuff. And they've all got live rounds over there, semi-automatic weapons and all sorts, sniper rifles, the whole shebang. Whereas in England, it's like, you know, in America, it's like, this is my new AK. It's the only gun I could think of at the time. Sights are bang on. I can take out 3 deer with 1 fucking bullet. Right? And I'm like, in England, it's like, have you seen my pea shooter? Nah, we're a lot more prepared than that. At least I am. Quinoa doesn't take much cooking. No, it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. It's a win-win-win-win-win. Like anything else, the more scarce something becomes, the more expensive it becomes. Now, we're all feeling the pinch. We've all got a budget. We're all running on a budget, right? So because it is going to become scarce, more and more scarce, feel free to do a quick Google search. But I've been hearing whispers about it here and there. But some of these prepping channels are full of shit. You know, I mean, I've heard some prepping channels saying that red lentils are going to be in short supply. And I'm thinking, I know where a lot of red lentils come from, various countries, and there's no short supply. In fact, if anything, there's more than, you know, more than they need. So again, it's due diligence, which is something we do. But quinoa, there is definitely going to be a problem. So get as much as you can in, because it is good for you. It's so good for you. And if you think it's expensive now, it's like anything else. When you think, oh, it's a bit pricey, can I afford to buy this? And then literally a couple of months down the road, it's unaffordable. Let me give you an example. Right. So I did a live stream. I think I might have done a little video, and I bought a kilo of pure copper, right? And I showed you, and it was still shrink wrapped as well to keep it nice and shiny, because copper does tarnish very easily, right? So that kilo of copper, I paid £35 for that. So what's happened is gold has become ridiculously expensive, and it's just going up and up and up and up. It's not far off £5,000 an ounce now, whereas you're looking at £900 for a sovereign. Yet 2.5 years ago, I did a video where I said you can pick up a sovereign for 200 quid, just over 200 quid. And that was the going rate for a sovereign. £900 now, 2.5 years later. I could buy a silver round, like an Eagle or a Britannia, for 35 quid. Now, 100, 110, 120 quid. And that's in less than a year. So gold's gotten out of reach of most working class folk. Silver has now become too expensive for a lot of people. It is out of reach for a lot of folk. So the next thing to drop onto is copper. So the exact same copper bar, kilo copper bar, please bear with me a second. So the copper bar that I bought, exactly the same, identical, from the same supplier. I paid 35 quid for that. And what was that? 3 months ago? It can't have been longer than that. 35 quid plus 7 or 8 quid delivery, because it's heavy. So let's just round it off just for argument's sake at 45 quid. One sold identical on eBay, identical to the one I bought for 35 quid. 202 quid plus delivery. So it's just gone. Get your money into metals if you can. But I'm not a financial advisor. All I'm saying is that when I mentioned gold, it was at a bargain price. When I mentioned silver, it was at a bargain price. When I mentioned copper, it was at a bargain price. And I'm just hoping that at least some of you took advantage of that little nudge. It costed me nothing to recommend these things to you, to try and give you alternative ways to store your wealth. Anyway, cooking, thimbles are great, especially when fixing denims and tough stuff. Yeah, they are, which is why I bought 2. But again, this is beautiful. It's made of brass. I mean, it's solid brass. But I think that beak's going to get in the way, or maybe I need to have the beak. I don't know. I still like it. 50p, you know. That thimble reminds me of Professor Yaffle off Bagpuss. Bagpuss, bloody hell, Dave. We're showing our age now, mate. I used to love that. I love Bagpuss. It was very, very. It was lovely. It was lovely. It was very weird, but very lovely. Damn, if I lived in the US, I'd have quite an armory. Me too, mate. I'd have a 50 cal. Fucking come on. Be like Burt Gummer from Tremors. Oh, Tremors, what a classic film. You know, I think there's about 5 of them now. I went to the charity shop. I bought a small old-fashioned wine opener with screw. Was that part of the payment, Ruth? Sorry. I've got a £5, but I'm good. I'm so sorry. Stewie, I apologise. Don't come knocking on my door. You know, I don't fuck with Scotsmen. You know, I don't want no trouble, mate. You know, I don't want no trouble. Let me just clarify that. With a I've just missed that. He's a dirty bastard, isn't he? Isn't he, Stewie? Aye, he fucking is. He's a cunt. Wide opener with screw and a wooden handle, nice for my pocket when out in the dark. Yeah, and again, you know, it's like it's not illegal to carry something like that, and everyone needs to just maybe think outside the box and carry something. We're not living in the same England anymore. I think we will go back to the olden days. I think we will too. Gold and silver, you can't eat. Spices, salt and pepper might be the thing. Well, I've got plenty of those as well. You know, people used to get paid in salt. People used to get paid in black pepper. It was crazy. That was the way it was. You know, it was so valuable. But now, because of like the amount of air traffic and big ships with containers on them and stuff like that, the world's become a much smaller place for now. So you can be a completely different kind of wealthy now, just by the stuff that you've put aside and just by thinking it through. What would be worth? What would someone want further down the line if they can't get it from the shop anymore? And stuff like salt is right up there. Salt, alcohol, tobacco, which I'm growing my own. The list is endless, you know. But you are right there, Ruth, by the way. You know, if you're thinking, shall I buy a crossbow or shall I add to my food haul, my food stockpile? Food. You know, the bigger the buffer zone that you create, the longer because that's the whole point of a buffer zone, is so that you can allow yourself to be relaxed, not part of the chaos out there. So you've got enough time to compose yourself and think about what you're going to do next. That's the whole point. So the longer the buffer zone you've created, the better off you are. I had a 1 kilo copper bar on my list. It's unaffordable now. Lessons learned the hard way, which is the best way, Michael. It is, you know, never dwell on stuff that you didn't do, because it's in the past. But stuff now, things won't go down in price things won't go down in price if you wait. No, they won't. Again, so anyone that's considering splashing out on a bit of copper or even silver, you're not going to lose. I think usually when things like this, because I mean silver is just gone stratospheric, but it will get to a point where it will just drop back down again, and to make like some sort of correction, because there's still some devious bastards out there that are manipulating stuff. That's why silver's been kept low for so long. But when that happens, maybe consider buying some silver when it drops back down again, because then it will go back up again. Nobody knows what the ceiling price is going to be of silver because it's got so many applications. But it's certainly, in my opinion, it's not going to be a bad investment. So the next one to drop onto from silver, from copper, so from gold down to silver, from silver down to copper, from copper down to aluminium. So even though there's no shortage of aluminium in the world, it still takes a lot of effort, a lot of extra refining to get aluminium into aluminium. And then a kilo of aluminium is going to be quite chunky as well, because it's quite a light metal. So just saying, I've been right about the other three. Just saying. Or if you're into stocks and shares, maybe consider investing, looking around, doing a bit of research, and maybe investing in some silver mining companies or copper mining, because most silver is found through mining copper or tin. So if you invest in a copper mine, you've got a chance of making it, really work for you, because they've found loads of copper and they've found loads of silver, or they've not found any copper, they've just found silver, or vice versa. So a lot of people are now investing in silver mining as opposed to silver, because the shares are just going to go up and up and up. That's what I'm saying. And then there's let me just stay. Let me catch up. I'm a fucker for it. I really am. Hello, Sal Misra. Mandy, you're right, sweetheart. Thanks for joining us. I've been poorly with cold. Thought I'd missed you last night. No, you didn't miss me. I got a bit fucked up. Don't know what it was, but I certainly didn't feel up to, doing a live stream, because it would have come through, and that's not what I want. I want us to bounce off each other. It's got to be a positive thing, whilst addressing a lot of negative things. I do like it to have a positive seam going throughout, and that can be quite a challenge. So if I'm not feeling myself, then like this, God, fuck knows where that came from. I do apologize, Mandy, and I hope you're feeling better, darling. Bronze would be very useful after the collapse. I'd love to have a go at making bronze arrowheads and the like. Do you know what, David? If you don't mind me calling you David, you can call me Terence if you like, even though I wasn't Chris and Terence, but it'd just be payback, really, But yeah, it's quite easy to melt and smelt. And yeah, brass is incredible to make arrowheads out of, but then you've got to be able. We're talking about going right back here to proper old school manufacturing of weapons. Gerald Celente said that Einstein said, one of them I've got a lot of respect for, the other one is a cunt. Gerald Celente, who I've got a lot of respect for, said that World War III, fuck knows, you know. We've got no idea how that's gonna end. But he said World War IV would be bows, arrows, rocks, slingshots, bats. So yeah, you know, that could be a very interesting route to go down there, Dave. It really, really, really could. Oh, right, let me just catch up because I've just clicked down and I've missed a lot. I do apologise. Just so I don't miss any out. Peaked. Hello, Lady Geek. You're all right, sweetheart. Do you know what? It's bizarre because earlier on, in fact, I think it might have been right at the start of this live stream, I was singing a song, and it's just bizarre. Again, synchronicities. I was singing, I'm sorry if I upset you. To get the better of me, I won't let you. Any time of the day, it's a betcha. You come running for me. No need to huff and puffer. I'm going, I can't remember. But that was Betty Boo doing the do. And your profile picture is Betty Boo. What are the odds of that? What are the fucking odds of that? I love shit like that. It blows my mind. Welcome to the live stream, sweetheart. Welcome to the party. Good to see you. I'm glad you're feeling better, Mandy. Mandy. What was that song? Was that Electric? Was that ELO? Stewie, you're not in trouble. You are trouble. They did a silver sovereign on the TV for £29. I always think it's a con on TV. It is. Everything on TV is a con. You know, here's a little bit of truth, and here's a little bit of truth, and here's a little bit of bullshit. But here's a bit more truth, and a bit more truth, and a bit more bullshit. That's how they do it. You got they're so clever at manipulating the truth. So yeah, I don't buy anything that comes up on the telly. I don't buy anything from YouTube ads, you know, and anything that I am interested in, I will research the shit out of it. Hugh Macbeth, Hugh Macbeth. Hugh Macbeth. That's a very, very Scottish username you've got there, Hugh. And I love it because we've got lots of Scottish, you know, there's loads of Scottish in our little tribe. So you'll fit right in. Much love, my friend. And good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I'm doing all right, brother. I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. We're all doing all right, you know. It's about keeping your pecker up and not letting all of this bullshit get the better of you. You know, no fear, and that does the trick. No fear. That's it. It's that simple. But I hope you're doing well too, Hugh, and that rhymes. I watched a few vids lately where people have been reclaiming silver from old electronics. Yeah, but you know, that's such a challenge. It is. You won't believe how much silver goes into the average solar panel. Now, the new most advanced solar panels usually they use something like 4 or 5 times more silver. But trying to reclaim it back out of those solar panels is almost impossible. So they're using silver up quicker in electronics and stuff that's more and more difficult to retrieve. than they're able to mine and put out onto the market. Hence the fact that it's just going to go up and up and up and up, out of control. In fact, silver alone could help in completely and totally destroying the economy of the world. And I know that's a big statement, but when you really think about it, the whole green agenda is based around silver with the solar panels, for example. Big, massive solar arrays. You know, that is part of the green bullshit con agenda. So where are they going to get all the silver from? Eh? That's a nice thought, isn't it? Oh, you can't take any more of our farmland to put your solar arrays on. Oh, man. Silver spot price alone at £76. Yeah, and then you've got the VAT on top of that, and you've got loads of people that don't want to go through the Royal Mint and stuff and set up an account and all of that. A lot of people are wanting to just get it off eBay, you know, buy it on eBay. And I'm still seeing loads and loads of retards out there. Oh, silver, Frank. Frank. What? We've got to get some silver because it's going up and up and up and up. I found one here that's for a tenner for an ounce. Are you sure it's real silver? It says it's real silver. All right, we'll buy it then. I will. But Todd. If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. You know, don't get suckered in. Don't get suckered in. There was someone that's selling a Britannia, and it started off at 10 quid. And I said, I've just put a bid in there, mate. Sent him a private message. I've got the means to tell whether or not it's real silver or not. So I hope you're above board. And he just said, well, I bought it from the Royal Mint. And he sent me some information. And I'm like, oh, fair enough. And that sold for 110 quid. One Britannia. Again, 202 quid for a kilo of copper, when a few months ago I paid 35 quid for one. It's a snooze, if you snooze, you lose type situation that we're in now. It really is. Maybe I will have to go on the on the quiet. That's where they mined copper separately. Go for it, Ruth. Whatever it takes, hedge your bets, because it makes sense to keep some money within fiat, because that's what we use on a daily basis. That's what our shopkeepers recognize, even though it's worth fuck all. It's all debt. I promised to pay the bearer. It's all debt, but they all recognize this debt. So it makes sense to have some in cash, some in silver, some in gold, some in copper, some in aluminium. Crypto, I'm not going to recommend that to you because I still don't trust it. And maybe if you're into stocks and shares, maybe some mines, you know. But again, I'm not, you know, don't listen to me. Terry, I had a feeling you were not feeling yourself last night. Oh, how strange. Hence checking in tonight. Yeah, you know, it's not often, but that I don't do that. You know, but I didn't put anything out. Yeah, I just felt it was very strange. And then after I'd had a sleep, I was fine. But it's like I had like weights hanging off all of me, you know. And you know me, you know, I'm not a man flu kind of guy. I'm not a pussy, you know. If I'm all right, I'm all right. even if I've got a cold or whatever, it's just fucking cold. I'll still do a live stream, but I was just so lethargic. And that would have come through in the live stream, and I don't want that. Didn't want that. I need to be full of beans, because if I'm full of beans, you'll be full of beans, and that'll come up. That'll show in the chat, and then that'll come across to me, and then that'll come across to you, and that's how it's been. Yeah, that's very lovely. That is, Mandy. Great. Orm is a wonderful place. Yeah, I was thinking of a place. Is that? Are we talking? Have you been here? Oh, right. Okay. Right. It's making sense now. Yes, went there last year. Drove around Orm. I've been there. Me and Sally went there. It was lovely. It was so beautiful. I love Wales. I just don't like the fact that you've got cunt police officers that are just there to take in revenue. They hide around bushes. Like that. Speed camera. Boom, boom, boom. Oh no, I did 33 in a 30 zone. Now it's 20 miles an hour. What the fuck? So I love the Welsh people. I love the Welsh countryside. I love the country, right? But the police are cunts. They're useless pieces of shit. Well, that applies to all cops, not just Welsh ones. But it's just that all of the speeding fines I've ever had were from Wales, apart from one. Yes, went last year and drove around Orm up to top. I love North Wales. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Oh, Lady Geek's Scottish as well. Okay, then. Oh, I don't even know what that means, but I just feel like I'm trying to fit in, because there's a lot of Scottish people involved here. I don't want to feel left out. So Hokkaido and I guess and Burns, and see, I'm getting the lingo. I'm getting there. Slow but sure. Slow but steady. If you come back, Mandy, let me know and I will meet you. Oh, it's so lovely, Ruth. You are lovely. You're so fucking lovely. I'll tell you, if I ever meet you, I will get a fucking hug so fucking your eyes will be popping out. And then I just get one big massive Scottish punch straight in the back of the head off your Stewie. Get off my fucking wife, you cunt. Sorry, Stewie. Oh man, look forward to it if you do. Oh, that would be so lovely. It would be so lovely. I love stuff like that. Hugh, I've just come out of the hospital after 2 weeks. I've cancer, but hey man, I've great faith in God. I'll find my precious brother. Oh, I'm so sorry, Hugh. I'm so fucking sorry, man. I've had cancer a couple of times, and both times it was removed in its entirety, and it never came back. I lost my wife to cancer, and it shouldn't be like this. We've gone from like 1 in 1,000 to 1 in 2. So if anyone's giving charities like cancer research any money, fuck them off. I would rather, if I was giving money to cancer research, the charity, I would rather take that money back and spend it on fucking crack or heroin, because that would be money better spent, or just putting it down a little crack in a drain, or giving it to a homeless person. Any of that would be better than giving it to them. Same as the British Heart Foundation. They've kept their mouths shut about the drastic rise in pericarditis. Fuck them. It's not on. But mate, I don't know how much research you've done, Hugh, or what, Email me, and I've got some literature that you can look at. I don't know what kind of cancer you've got, but I've got some literature you can look at, so you can look at alternative measures, because I know how it feels to be in your situation, and you're starting to think, right, should I go down the chemotherapy route? Should I go the radiotherapy route? Should I go down this route? Should I go down that route? And I know what route I'd go down, and it wouldn't be the sanctioned one, but that's just me. So please email me, maybe we can find a solution. But I am sorry. So Mr. Weatherspoons, I can have a Guinness or a pint. Classy bird. Nice. And have a tea or coffee if I don't drink. Hey up, Jordan, you all right, mate? I mean, just seen you pop up there, mate. I hope you're all right. I hope you've had a good weekend so far. Thanks for joining us, my friend. I'm well, yeah. Hey, mate, it was meant to be last night, but I was a bit off. So I thought I'd bring it around tonight instead, just so we could still have a live stream, a little bit of a gathering, The new Welsh Health, the Welsh Health Minister, whatever it's supposed to be, hilarious. Hijab the Hut. Oh my God, I love that. Instead of Jabba the Hutt, it's Hijabba the Hutt. How genius is that? I love that. I wish I'd fucking thought of that. That's brilliant, Dave. Love it. She is a proper freak. And she shouldn't even be in this fucking country, let alone be in a position of power. In a sovereign country like Wales. She needs to get slapped out of town. Fucking freak. If I was a health minister, right, I'd have a six-pack. I'd have proper solid... Well, I already have. Apart from this bit. Need to work on that bit. But I would look the part. You can't say I'm a health minister when you're like 20 fucking stone and look like a Cabbage Patch doll. It's ridiculous. The fuck? But yeah, good point there, Dave. Blimey, it's Burns night tomorrow. Wow, and I was talking about Burns, just trying to relate to the Scottish amongst us by talking Scottish, like Burns and stick it on your head, I don't know much else Scottish. I'm learning though. I'm getting there, Ruth. But yeah, Burns was an amazing poet. My first video on my new channel, whereas the year gone. Oh my God, yeah, because he did a poem. He recited Burns in that video. Was that a year ago? Fuck you now. Oh man. Crazy. Gone like that. Yeah, that's mad. Mad. I guess I would be driving, so would be unlimited coffee. My partner, I don't know what's worse, having a few drinks and then driving, or having several strong coffees and driving. Because you're thinking you're going along at 40 when you're actually doing 120 on coffee. Whereas with, no, don't drink and drive, guys. It's just a theory in my head. Oh dear. My partner proposed to me on Old Colwyn Bay seafront last year in the sunset. Oh, it's so beautiful, Mandy. I love shit like that. I proposed to Sally on a beach in Thassos. Yeah, I'm an old-fashioned guy, and I love stuff like that. I'm a romantic, you know. Romance is a beautiful, beautiful thing, and it needs to be kept alive. And the internet's kind of screwed up all of that up a little bit. So yeah. One of my favourite shops is based in Colwyn Bay. The night shop is epic. I don't recognise that. I don't know where that is or what it sells. Is it a sex shop? Is it like dildos, like massive, like 15-inch rubber cocks and that? I don't know. Or is it something more wholesome? I hope it's the latter. I wish I came up with hijabs. Yeah, I know. Well, hey mate, I'm just impressed that you've not taken credit for that. You know, good on you. She must have come by the sea. Let me just go for a wee. Bear with me, because my innuendo head's sort of like started to switch on, and it's all downhill from here. And that's another thing. So people are looking at reputable sources for copper. And because they're so focused on that, they're overlooking all the sources of copper, pure copper. So I found another source. And bought another kilo. But you know me grinder. I need to deburr all the sharp edges of the copper that's meant to be coming. But there's part of me thinking, it's been a while since I actually bought that. Have they suddenly realised that, well, look at how much copper is selling for on eBay now. Maybe I should say, I'm sorry, we ran out. We'll reimburse you. You know, because a lot of people do that. So I'm wondering if I'm going to lose out on that. But that was about 35 quid again, where it needs polishing up and then shrink wrapping to make sure that it doesn't lose its shine. Again, that's going to be worth twice, 3 times, 4 times where it's worth now in a few months, because they can't get it out of the ground quick enough, because people have dropped on from silver, they've dropped onto copper. I would have never have seen any of this shit coming. That's a lie, because I saw how the economies were going, and I knew that the entire Western world were deliberately destroying each economy. So for anyone that was paying attention to that was going to make people want to put their fiat into, hold on, something's just come up on the screen. Let me just get rid of it. I don't know what it means. Cough. So I knew that I was picking up on a pattern. So I knew that there were going to be a lot of people out there that were going to want to take their money, their wealth out of fiat and then put it into something that was more stable. So I did see that coming, which is why anyone that's watched the channel right from the start knows that I was very, very pro, right from the start, very, very pro, get your fucking money out of the bank. Get it out of the bank. And get it out of the bank now. And that was 5 years ago. So, because whilst your money is in the bank, it belongs to the bank. It doesn't belong to you anymore. It's down to the bank to decide whether or not they want to give you your money, your cash. Cash isn't money. Gold and silver is money. So if you deposited, say, 10 grand into the bank, and then you went round there like a couple of weeks later and said, I want to take it back out now, if that's all right. All right, okay. What do you want it for? Well, it's my money. I know, but I've got to type something in here, otherwise you can't have it. That's how it is now. There are people that are seeing all this shit happening, and they want to plough loads and loads of money into gold, silver, copper mining, silver mining, gold mining, aluminium, stuff like that. And their bank is turning around and saying, no, you can't do that. You mean I can't do it? It's my money. I know, but you can't do that. These bastards are ruthless. They almost destroyed the entire economy of the world in 2008, yet they continued to get their bonuses, millions a year per person. They carried on getting their bonuses. Not one single person went to jail for that catastrophe. Yet people committed suicide because they'd lost everything. So I did see a pattern forming, and I do think that most preppers look at patterns, identify patterns, and then act accordingly. And so, yeah, back then I was saying, get your money out of the bank, get it out. Go in and say, I want to buy a motorhome. Okay, that sounds feasible. There you go. And then every day, go to the cash machine and draw out the maximum amount. Following day, maximum amount. Down to the bank, I'd like to draw out 10 grand, please. What's it for? Home improvements. That's on the list. That sounds feasible. There you go. Just be clever. Get it out of the bank. Because at some point, very, very soon, there's going to be a bank run. You know, and all of these people that think, these very, very fucking naive people out there that think, I'm guaranteed if the bank fails to get X amount of money. No, you're not. No, you're not. You trust the banks. Are you a Labour supporter? Are you marginally retarded that you can't see obvious evidence that to the contrary? Just saying. We have to keep thinking ahead. We've got to keep staying ahead of the curve. Again, that's a swear term now. Staying ahead of the curve. Lock down, save granny. Whereas when I say it, it means something different. It means just staying ahead, thinking ahead, staying ahead, seeing ahead. And you'll be all right. You'll be all right. She has come from Pakistan too, not from here. I know, that's what I mean. There should be no, right. There should be no Pakis in any parliament in the UK. Not one. Not one. Oh, we said Paki. Right, we get called, we're British. We get called Brits. It's an abbreviation of Brits. An abbreviation of Pakistan is Paki. And no Paki should be involved in British politics at all. No exception. None. Especially if they look like that. You know? With an IQ of -5. She's fucking useless. Then they all are. I mean, what was the Scottish? Oh man, what was it? Hamza. Useless. I used to call him Hamza Useless because he was fucking useless. You know. People of England, white. People of Scotland, white. The moon, full moon, white. Chalk, white. A whiteboard, white. Snow, white. Fuck off. You're not wanted. You were never wanted. Fuck off. There are 50 odd Islamic countries in this world, right? Fuck off to one. Because you're not welcome here. Oil and water. You're not wanted and you're not welcome. We're done with you. I'm sick and tired of seeing my beautiful towns and certain parts of certain cities within my country just being enveloped by these fucking rats, these fucking maggots. You know? Call me a racist. I don't give a flying fuck. I'm being honest. I'm tired of it. Tired of it. She must have come by saying, yeah. Probably, actually, they might have actually stuck her at the back of the, because maybe the propeller, the engine, had failed, so they just stuck her in the water behind and kept on just pressing her cheeks, and every time they pressed the cheeks, air kept them coming out of her arsehole, and that propelled them and got them all the way to Dover Beach. That's just my theory, you know. Is that a greener alternative? I don't know, because they don't like methane, do they? They think methane's a bad thing. Cow farts. So, I mean, what's the difference between a cow fart and a packy fart? I think a packy fart's stinkier. That went downhill quite quick. Let's bring it back up. Goodness gracious. Synchronicities are lining up tonight. I love them, Michael. I love them. She's only in that position to wind up the natives. Yeah, of course she is. Of course she is. You know, there isn't a single staunch, proper, patriotic Welsh man and woman or woman that's thinking, yeah, I'm really, really chuffed that we've got a severely obese, cabbage patch looking packy clump in charge of our health. Love it. I'm so happy. I couldn't be happier. But I think what winds me up even more is that no one's doing or saying fuck all about it. It's like, oh no, this is what it is then. This is the way it is then. We just need to get on with it then, don't we? Isn't it? That's my very, very dreadful attempt at a Welsh accent. But people are putting up and shutting up way too much for my liking. We need more people to be a bit more outspoken. Grow up here, stick your fucking head above that parapet and open your mouth. You know? You tolerate this, tolerate that, you'll continue to tolerate shit. You'll keep tolerating stuff to the point where you become completely fucking numb. Dead inside. The night shop is in Conway, opposite the castle. I know, but what does it sell though, Ruth? Because now I've got dildos in my head. Not literally, you know, not until later, you know, when I've had a few more of these and I've shut down. No, I don't know why I said that. I don't have anything like that in this house. It's not my thing, you know. Oh dear. It's a slippery slope, Terry. Oh, good night, Hugh. Thanks for dropping by, my friend. And don't be a stranger, you know. Usually every Friday night, drop by, come and say hello. Oh, I love that. I love Rupert Lowe. He is a warrior for our country. He should be in charge. Oh. Right then. The guy is so loaded, right, that he's got his own sort of gamekeeper, right? What's one of the problems that we've got in this country is that we've got no one representing the vast majority of the country. No one's representing us. The vast majority of the country are working class people, right? And then the next big group are the middle class. So the middle class and the working class are not being represented. So you've got people like Rupert Lowe, who has a gamekeeper, and his dog was sick. Now I see dogs as gods, as guardian angels, not just a dog. Oh, it's a dog. I don't see him like that. And anyone that's got a dog or has had a dog will understand where I'm coming from. So it's like, fuck it. George, yes, my lord. Francesca, you know the bitch. Yes, my lord. She's lame. Can you go and shoot her? Yes, my lord. And that's what happened. He got his gamekeeper to go and shoot his fucking dog. So he doesn't represent us, Ruth. He's all mouth. He's a typical politician. He's saying everything you want to hear. That's it. He's a fraud. He's a fake cunt. So I do apologise, Ruth. I'm just being honest with you. And all of this will come to pass. And you'll see where I'm coming from as we move forward. He's all that. That's all. So again, you know, whether people want to agree with me or disagree with me on that is irrelevant. But if you want to bring it into the chat and, you know, have a bit of a chat, a bit of a chat about that, I'm more than happy to do that because I've got loads more in the chamber in regards to him. But what I certainly don't want to do is piss on people's parades. But I'm honest and I'm telling the truth. So, you know, I don't like to step on toes. I don't like to burst bubbles. But the truth is the truth. And I like to cut through all the bullshit. So yeah, you know, what I've just told you is the truth. How many working class people have a gamekeeper? How many working class politicians are there that truly understand us, that truly represent us because they understand us? One of the few was Andrew Bridgen, because he grew up in poverty. His upbringing was very similar to mine. No bathroom, no central heating. Tin bath, I had a tin bath. We had a tin bath. We'd have a tin bath. We'd have a bath in the backyard during the summer, and then a bath in front of the electric fire during the winter. Single glazed windows, freezing cold, no central heating, outside toilet. During the winter, we had a pail or a bucket in each one of our bedrooms, so we didn't have to go out into the cold during the middle, in the middle of the night. So me and Andrew Bridgen had a very, very similar upbringing, and he gave a fuck about the people. He gave a fuck about Leicester. He gave a fuck about his people. So he was probably one of the few, absolute few, you know. And they shafted him because he wouldn't toe the narrative. He wouldn't toe the party line. Anyway. Davos last week. Yeah, I mean, did you hear Trump? Fucking hell, the guy, he's so up himself. You know, his ego. Nobody could have ever done anything like this before because it's only I could manage to do something like that because I'm amazing. Yeah. No, you are licking on the bollocks of Israel. That's what you're doing, Trump. You're a cunt. Can you imagine a white guy standing up in Parliament and giving a speech like handful of useless brown? Yeah, that's what needs to be done. People need to stop being pussyfooting around. Say what you fucking mean. Be authentic. Tell the truth. That's what we need. But democracy has always been a lie. It's always been bullshit ever since the days of its inception, which was the Roman Empire. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, you have a choice. This is a democracy. You have a choice between this complete fucking loser, this devious cunt, or this absolute paedophilic wanker. Take your pick. It's never changed. The current political system needs to be completely and totally obliterated and then rebuilt. And it's not going to be easy. It's going to be insanely difficult. And everyone needs to be, again, this is why we prepare. Because there's just absolute chaos ahead of us. And everyone needs to get their head around that. But what we do need honest people. Again, I'm still trying to work trying to get my head around this guy that's just popped up on the scene. As far as I'm concerned, he's quite new on the scene. I'd never heard of him before up until a couple of months ago. And I've forgotten his name. I fucking hate that. I'm shit with names. Please help me out. I know you'll know who I'm on about, Michael. You might know Dave. He's a guy from a council estate, allegedly, who thinks that we need to make England about English people, literally going back to our heritage as white English, white Scottish, white Welsh, white Irish, and anyone else needs to be shifted to a place of their origin. and he's very firm on it. I've just forgotten what his name is, you know, but right or wrong, I like the rawness of that approach. It takes a lot of balls to stand up in this day and age to come out with shit like that. So I like that, you know. Again, whether or not I think we should be that extreme is, you know, a conversation for another time. But I do like that level of honesty, as long as he's honest, as long as he's sincere, as long as he's real and not another fake Tommy, you know. Because people are now starting, you know, when I started slating Tommy Robinson off, people were like, "Oh, you fucking cunt," you know. I did have a few emails, you know, and there's been a few comments, you know, but nothing horrendous, because people don't like the idea of their hero. It's like, we need you to save us, Tommy, because I'm too much of a weak, decrepit, pathetic little cunt that I can't save myself. So I think a lot of people have started to realise that what I was saying about him is true now. It's true. You know, I don't just slag people off for the sake of it, just for a fucking hobby. The guy's a cunt. The night shop sells, swords, armour, etc. and souvenirs. Now, you know, the night shop, right, with a K, it makes complete and total sense to me now. So I really, really, really do apologise. Yeah, you know, but I didn't know. I just needed to clarify. But my mission on trying to clarify that was a little bit skewiff. So I do apologise, and thank you for clarifying that. It sounds lovely. It sounds like a cracking place. Night shop sells medieval ornaments, swords, etc., and souvenirs. It sounds lovely. It sounds like my cup of tea. I don't have a suit of armour in my wardrobe. It's a metaphorical suit of armour, and it's on, and it's ready. They sell real stuff too. I think that's mainly online though. I'm so sorry, Luke. I'm so sorry, Ruth. Please forgive me. You know, that's an extra big hug that you'll get from me when we finally get to meet up. They all talk the talk and say what people want to hear, but when they get into power, they don't walk the walk. No, they don't walk the walk, and they don't walk the talk, ever. And now they're so brazen. Now they don't give a fuck what you think. It's like, right, I've got this new law, and we're going to implement it. Well, do you want to ask us first? You work for us? No. It's getting implemented. Fuck off. Oh, it's like that, is it? Yeah, it's like that. Have you forgotten that there are millions of us? Yeah, but we're narcissists and psychopaths, so we don't give a fuck. Okay. You will. You fucking will. Well, they are so brazen now. They don't care. And that brazen lack of giving a fuck started about 10 years ago, you know, and they were testing people by this leaked document, just seeing how people would respond. Right. Oh, you bastard. EastEnders. Another leaked document. Again, the footage of them partying on with no masks on, whilst people couldn't go and see Granny when she had days left to live. It's all right. No one did fuck all. They took it. Pathetic, fucking pathetic. Oh, I don't want to go down a negative road here. Let's bring some humour back. Yeah, it is a game for the rich fuckers. It is. But they underestimate some of the most brilliant minds that have ever walked this world have been from the working class. One's just sprung to mind, right? Let me just see. Was it Edward? Was it Edward Brunel? What was the first name of Brunel, the engineer? Is Ambard? Is Ambard? What sort of ridiculous name is that? Where was the Victorian Brunel engineer born? I'm asking shit questions here. He was born on Britain Street. I like that. To Sophia Kingdom. This is sounding a bit odd. And the French engineer, Marc Islambard Brunel. Right, so he was half French. Portsmouth. But I bet he was working class. I don't want him messing around with my phone. But I bet he was working class. So many of the most amazing minds that have ever graced this beautiful, beautiful world that we live in were working class people, right? And they fucking underestimate us and underestimate us and underestimate us all the time. Yet we are legion, you know? It's like that one bully that took it too far that last time, right? He never bullied anyone ever again. So it's about taking control, you know? Take control of your own life, first and foremost. That's the most important thing you need to do. Take control of your own life and take 100% responsibility for your actions and try and do the right thing no matter what. Don't allow consequence to get in the way. Having said that, I am also a firm believer in picking your battles, because it's winning that battle, winning that battle, winning that battle, winning that battle. There are battles within a war. So just keep focusing on one battle at a time, and there'll be other people focusing on another battle at a time, and then other people focusing that are all part of this, all part of us, and they're focusing on another battle. So these fuckers have got a battle on so many fronts. Like they are attacking us on so many fronts. And it's our individual uniqueness that's managed to bring us to this situation. And then take into account that we've got significant numbers on our side. Yeah, they've got some freaky fucking weapons. Of course they have. But there are people coming up with solutions for that as well. So never lose faith. You know, we will win this. We will. We will. We will. But it's going to be, you know, when I hear people say it using the word bumpy, right? I'm thinking, bumpy. Fuck off, optimist. I'm not a fan of optimists. I love realists. Yeah, Steve. But is it Steve Wall? Is it Wall or Hale? Laws. Yeah, that's it. I've just read down a little bit. I do apologise, guys. Yeah, he's an interesting guy. Very, very interesting little bit of he's like a storm that's come from nowhere and it's gaining traction. But is it gaining traction for the right reason? Is he for real? I don't really know enough about him. Is he for real? Or is he just another where Tommy is failing? Is he coming in to sort of make up for that so that we go to war with Islam and the cockroaches? Or is he genuine? I think I know who you mean. Yeah, exactly. My memory is shot due to thyroid damage. I think his surname. You know, have you looked into anything to repair the whole thyroid thing, Dave? I mean, there are quite a lot of solutions out there. That again, I don't know how much damage there is. Because the whole if you end up going to the hospital, for example, the whole thyroid and testosterone and all sort of ties into that. It's quite a strange department of most hospitals. I don't even know what's in here. This is thyroid energy, you know. But you see, I would love to be able to work out what it is in the supplements that I take on a daily basis, the tinctures I'm taking on a daily basis, the food that I eat on a daily basis, and try and work out why it is that I feel generally really, really sorted, you know, so that I can maybe remove that because it's irrelevant. It's not actually doing anything. Remove that. Just like a process of elimination. But that would take a lot of time. But I do think that there are things out there that can help you, Dave. You know, there's a solution for everything. Absolutely everything. You know, bar none. 100% for this problem, there's a solution. It's just that, and I don't mean you, the vast majority of people out there, it's like, oh, I better go to a doctor. It's like, hello? No, you ring at 8 o'clock in the morning. Welcome to the blah, blah, blah medical centre. You are 97 in the queue. Please hold. Your call is important to us. If my call was important to you, I wouldn't be at that number, would I, you cunt? We don't put phones down anymore, do we? It's just a screen. But that's pretty much it. You know, we're tolerating this fucking system that you're paying shitloads into and have done all of your life. Whilst we've got people coming into the country in massive droves that have paid nothing into this country, continue to pay nothing into this country, yet they get put first. and you're tolerating it. How much are you prepared to tolerate? When will you say, right, I'm going to do something about this? Because that was another epiphany that I had the other day, is throughout history, when there's never been anything like this, you know, as far as I'm aware. Maybe in previous civilizations, fuck knows what they had then, you know. There's been so much bit that's been held back from us. But there's quite likely, well, we can give loads of examples of historical figures where it's taken one man to, do you know what? And I remembered that the other night. But I don't know if I can be bothered now, because I don't know if it's worth it. I was going to get, I don't know, say 10 dominoes and line them all up and then bring that all the way down so you could see the surface, and then just watch me push that one domino and see that other 9 go down, just because of one man or one woman, Boudica, you know. These people existed. Sticking with the Scottishness, you know, Braveheart existed. That film, I'm sure there was loads added to it for, you know, extra drama, or there was actually quite a lot missed out of that film. But sometimes it just takes one man or one woman to push that first fucking domino that changes everything. Everything. So will that be one of us? We just don't know. Anyway, let me catch up. Takes one, just one. You know, and again, that could be you sacrificing your life. So that you see, martyrdom is a very, very, very fucking powerful thing. Very powerful. Especially in the Western world. Because if you had a martyr, for example, in a Middle Eastern country, for example, they end up being forgotten about. Whereas in the Western world, it's very different. Very different. Which is, again, it's a shame, you know, because martyrs are martyrs, you know, they've sacrificed their fucking lives to make a point. And they should be remembered and acted on if it's worthy. And there's nothing more worthy than liberty, you know, and that's what they're trying to take away from us. So if ever there was anything worth fighting for and risking your life for, it's this. You know, because it's bigger than me, it's bigger than you. It's all about future generations trying to grow up like we grew up, you know. We're the last of a generation. We need to make it count. I've missed out a bit. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to catch up now. So I do apologise if I'm a bit behind. I have an underactive thyroid. Right. So there's one that's I've forgotten the terms now. There's one that's overactive and there's one that's underactive, and I've forgotten the terminology of it. But I hope you get yourself right, Lady Geek. I really do, you know, because I'm sure you're lovely. It's personal data. They're watching us to fuck us up, love. Yeah, they are. Yeah, but we're watching them. Unfortunately, not everyone is. You know, there are people that just, whilst we're kind of researching, say, geoengineering, for example, which is right at the top of one of the things that needs to be dealt with and fast. We'll be researching the shit out of shit like that whilst they're watching EastEnders, you know, in fucking La La Land, pretend land, completely oblivious to what's going on around them. But there are shitloads of people out there that are there are loads of us that are focused on that. There are loads of us that are focused on that. There are loads of us that are focused on that. And then there are people within those focus, the groups, if you like, that have got laser focus, and they're on our side. So as much as they are hiding stuff, and as much as they have hidden stuff, right the way back to World War II and way beyond then, right? We've got people that are finding the truth, because not everything can be hidden. Not everything. They'll try. The whole burning of the books and now trying to restrict people's access, especially young people, which is the target for them, trying to restrict their access online in Australia, coming to America, coming to England, coming to everywhere. And then the whole digital ID system, where you probably might not be able to access anything online anymore or have a bank account unless you become part of the system. And when you do, there's no coming back from that. There are lots of hills to die on. Choose one. I've been working through different stuff for my thyroid. The problem is my immune system, when it kicks off, it starts destroying stuff. The follicles of the hair on my head was the latest victim, lol. I love the fact that you say lol, you know. I love the fact that you are laughing in the face of adversity. While sometimes it will get the better of you, but try and make it so that you've got the better of it more, you know, that way. You know, the other night I had some fucking dark thoughts, mate, and I was in bed. It was like, oh my God, you know, loads of things hitting me all at once. And then I thought about something, and I had a bit of a chuckle, and that chuckle turned into a belly laugh. And I thought, I've just gone from sinking, seriously fucking sinking, right? Because the thoughts I was having about the reality of the world were sinking me so fucking low. I ended up somehow chuckling and then having a belly laugh. And it made me realize just how fucking powerful maintaining your sense of humor is. It will get you through anything as long as you can maintain your sense of humor. And it's worth maintaining. It really is, because it's a powerful force. You know, you could just flip it. Look, the yin yang sign. You know, how I ended up proper belly laughing after that. I'm thinking that's a bit of an anomaly, but I must have done that, me. So if I can do that, you can do that. If I can come back from losing my wife during the kickoff of the biggest change in societal fucking history, and lots of other things, all culminating all at the same time, and come through the other side and do regular live streams that last for 3-4 hours and have a giggle with you. You know, it's fucking doable. But yeah, Dave, I hope you can find a way, you know, because I want to kind of flow and roll, and I know that I've got comments that I've not caught up on yet. But I don't know if you've bought the Green Pharmacy. If you have a flick through it and see if there's underactive thyroid or just something in relation to thyroid and a natural, a completely natural remedy for it, you know, and maybe a few lifestyle changes that you can do. You know, you can, you know. If not, email me and I'll do the legwork for you. I will, I promise. But yeah, Lady Geek, I was married to a lady that lost her hair on a rapid level. So, and she rocked a fucking skinhead. You know, Sinead O'Connor, check my wife out. Bear with, just get the top up. So yeah, find a way. You know, I've heard about like caffeine shampoos and stuff like that. They there seems to be some sort of truth in that. So that could be an avenue to look down. You know, stimulate your follicles and stuff. You know, just look into it. Just keep doing a deeper and deeper dive, and relying more on you know, forums that have got a holistic, homeopathic approach to stuff. You know, maybe just consider your GP as like a last resort. Just saying. I'm not medically trained, but I've got a fair bit of common sense, you know. I don't know what these cunts are all about. Lost about 80% of my hair in a few weeks. I'm so sorry, Dave. But yeah, mate, look, you know, you could be one of those lucky chaps that gets away with a skinhead, you know. I've never worn this like that before. I think this might be appropriate just for 5 minutes, so everything doesn't look so serious, you know. Balance. Different stuff for my thyroid. The problem is my immune system. Vitamin B6, vitamin B12, vitamin C, vitamin D in high doses. Just look at everything that top 10 most powerful immune boosters on Google. You know, even though Google needs to be completely obliterated off the earth, right? It is good. It is still useful for some things. And then just have a look at all of them, right? And then just I'm sure. Oh Lord, mate, I feel like I'm telling you to suck eggs, and I'm sure you fucking looked into all of that stuff. So I do apologise, mate. But I would like to help if I can, you know. The hair loss I'm having, oh my God. You see, it's tougher for women. You know, I shaved my head. I ended up shaving my wife's head, and she had lovely long brown hair, you know. So it's not the end of the world. But yeah, just look into, you know, natural topical things that you can rub into your scalp, and I'm telling you, there's an answer to every single fucking problem we've got. Everything. We just need to find it, and a lot of it's been hidden away from us. You know, by the Rockefellers, for example. You know, prescription medication came from them. They got rid of all the natural healers. For now, you know, we're coming back. We're coming back with a vengeance. You know, I've got a few sorted out now. I've got one that I still need to filter and decant, and that'll go really nice with the rosehip tincture, because you have some of that and then some of that in the morning, and then the same again in the evening, and then do the same the following day when you've got the onset of something like cold symptoms. It fucks it off. It just gets rid of it. I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything, any nasally. You'd tell in my voice. But I did have the onset of a cold. And I ended up, you know, having this tincture in the morning and in the evening, you know. Right, you've got to catch it at the start though, you know. It's not hocus fucking pocus. It's a tincture. It's down. You're always trying to nip something in the bud when it starts. You know, we're all 50-ish, you know, give or take, most of us. So we've had half a century of knowing, like, oh, I think I might be coming down with a cold, because I've had a sneezing fit and now I feel a bit knackered, you know, or you get that soreness in the back of your throat, or that smell or kind of sense that you get in your sinuses, you know, I think I'm coming down with a cold, right? If you make one of these tinctures right at the start of feeling like that, it fucks it off. It's mad. We need to get back to nature. And I think we need to get back to that, whatever that is. I look like a really fucked up, you know, bastard son of Norman Wisdom. Good on you, Michael, for beginning aware. We have to look up ourselves on abattoir codes. Yeah, we do. Yeah, to see if it's not. I know nearly everything is halal now. It's disgusting. You know, does anyone remember me doing the first time I did a video where I showed my face, right? After the Southport slaughter and the fucking uprising that happened afterwards. And I said, one side is civilized, the other side isn't. Do you remember me saying that? Because it's the truth. We we know that we have to kill this animal in order to make it, to turn it into various different joints of meat. You know, put your hands over your ears, vegetarians and vegans, you know, but we know that they have to go through some sort of slaughter process in order for us to cook this chicken, you know, beef stew, whatever, you know. We do try and stay ignorant of it to some degree because it's so horrific. It's because we're from a civilized country. We want to make sure that that animal knows as little about it dying as possible. We want to try and make it as humane as possible because we're civilized. So what does that say about halal meat? What does that say about kosher meat? What does it say about those two ideologies? And that's what they are. They're ideologies. You could get a fucking Rizzler paper between those two ideologies. I can reel off example after example. Yeah, loads and loads of stuff. None of it says halal, halal, halal. But you have to you type in a code after off the back of that app, the app that I put into the post section. Once you've downloaded the app, and you type in the code of each one of these pieces of meat or whatever, right? These products, and it'll come up halal, 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 halal. Yeah, on the packaging, the whole thing, loads of writing, loads of little stamps, loads of little marks, right? Loads of pretty pictures. It says fuck all about halal. Nothing. This is England. It's going to get messy. I don't care about the hair loss. I'm sorry if I've missed anyone out. I don't care about the hair loss. I quite like having one less task in the bathroom duties. Mate, over the years, I've probably saved about a tenner on shampoo. You know, I don't really need, well, I've got a comb. I use it for this, but I don't really, you know, no gel, you know, no hair putty. I mean, what the fuck is hair putty? Yeah, you save a few quid, loads less hassle. You know, it's like, oh, my parting's not straight. I don't have to moan about any of that now. It's like, oh, and it's lovely, you know. But it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. You know, there was a point in my life where I loved my hair, you know, and I always had it looking good, but I started receding. And then receding a bit more. And then there was just something going on there, like a circular thing, right? So to take that step to shave it all off was a big deal to me, you know, back then. But yeah, best thing I ever did. But make sure anyone don't listen to me tonight. This is just a Saturday night live stream. Don't just think, do you know what? I think it's fucking right. I think it's right. All right. Fuck it. Fuck it. You come back, they wake up in the morning, right? They've got a tooth missing. They've got a tattoo right across the fucking face. They've got no hair. They've got a condom hanging off. Not too much. I'm just practical. I should have just said, I'm just practical. I didn't have to say all of that shit. Where are we? Most of my life, my body burnt hot. I could eat. Yeah, really like a fast metabolism. I've got quite a fast metabolism, but I did put quite a lot of weight on. And I did have moobs, you know, and over quite a short space of time, I lost a lot of weight. But then it's almost like I was caught just before I lost loads more. And when I was caught, whether that was by me or something, and fuck knows, you know, I was then kind of I had the opportunity then to start training and, you know, learn some half decent martial arts and get fit, you know, and stay healthy. So once you get down to a certain weight, it's quite easy to maintain it. It is. But probably try and lose weight in a more kind of controlled manner than how I lost mine. You know, do it gradually, and you can do it. You can. Again, those 3 rules: eat less, eat better, do more. That's it. And anyone it's not that simple. Don't fucking wind me up, you know, because it is. It's down to you. You're the only person getting in the way of you. You are. Or if you're happy to stay big, you know, and get out of breath just from going up the stairs and stuff, if you're happy with that, then stay like that. If it makes you happy being like that, which I know it's not, then, you know, carry on being like that. Or do something about it. I don't need immune boosters. So my immune system is too aggressive. I appreciate your concern, though. Just showing some love, mate. And you know, I don't like the idea of any of you guys being struggling in any way. You know, and that's why they're trying to destroy communities, because we not in every single case, because when you throw massive amounts of people together, complicated beings, there's a lot of variables to take into account, you know. But for the most part, back then, we helped each other out. Now, most people don't know what their next door neighbour's name is, let alone the rest of the street. Things have changed. But as long as you recognise those changes, you don't forget. And because you've not forgotten, you can help bring it back to that in the future, which is beautiful. Oh, you soft twat, Tez. I know. You are. I know. So people are going, is he a schizophrenic? No, we're not. Prevention is better than the cure, Michael. You're absolutely spot on. Really is. As long as you recognise the problem. I've not had a cold, but a bad back. Is that because of your messy front garden? Ruth, it's like you're turning into my target, and I'm really, really sorry, you know. But hey, you fucking started that. You started that with your messy front garden. Not me. And you did a compilation of that conversation. So, you know it was you. Anyway, right. So bad back from being able to get up from sitting down. My neighbour had the same. What's that about? Anybody else? I think we tend to. We're meant to be active beings, and we do a lot of sort of like standing in one position for ages, and a lot of it's like looking down, like work surfaces and stuff, and then we're looking up at screens and stuff like that. We don't move around very much. We're meant to be mobile all day long. Because we spend far too much time in this position, and then far too much time in that position, and then sitting down and spending far too. That's not normal for us. We're not built like that. We're not designed that way, and that's why so many people have got bad backs, because we're not designed to live the way that we're living. We're designed to be on our feet all day long, and it's a scientific fact that we think. I can't remember how many times more effectively and efficiently when we're stood up, when we're in a standing position. Some of the most incredible thoughts I've ever had in my life have come to me whilst I've been having a piss. Now, ladies, I know now you're wishing that you were a man, but actually when you wee, that's the most efficient, most effective way of weeing for both men and women, is sitting down. But I think we've just gotten into doing it out of convenience. We just have to undo a fly, pull our boxer shorts a bit down, lop it out, have a wee, shake it, lop it back in, boxer shorts flick back up, zip back up, wash our hands. We're done. You, especially if you've got a fucking onesie on, it's like, oh, now I need a wee. Oh, you don't, do you? I do. You've got a onesie on, yeah, I fucking know. That's why I'm pissed off. Oh, man. It's like, zzz. By the time you've got that sleeve off, you've pissed yourself. I have suffered back pain for years. Yeah, me too. I've mentioned it in many videos about my back, but have I let it stop me? I'm prescribed dihydrocodeine for my back, but I've not let it stop me. I won't let anything get in my fucking way. I used to support a guy that was completely paralyzed from the waist down, right? And the fucking medals that he had in his bedroom from wheelchair racing, he was strong as fuck. So he's like, right, I can't do fuck all with that bit, but I can do a load with this bit. I can do shitloads with this bit, silver linings. They said all Islam will go into every household. Yeah, that's correct. We are all eating it. That's a really good point. That's a really, really good point. I never really thought about it like that, Ruth. Can you fucking believe that? Again, look, we can boycott. But even one of the last vestiges, for us to do our fucking shopping and be able to afford to get as much as we possibly can, was farm foods. However, just give me a second. So I need to make sure that you get the right information. So there's a specific meat vendor that's quite big. It's like an Anglo-Asian sized version of, say, Tyson's Meats in America, right? And the brand, I don't know if you want to write it down or I don't know, just so you can look out for it, is Sierra. Excuse me. So that's SEARA. And that's all halal. And farm foods are selling their products now. So, I mean, that's another thing, right? If I go into a freezer centre, that it's pretty much generally all freezer stuff, like farm foods, like Iceland. If you're in America or any other country, I don't know what your version of that would be, right? But if you looked in the freezer and you saw a whole chicken for £1.99, there's no way in the fucking world I'm buying that chicken. I would rather go out and get stinging nettle stings covering my hands so bad that they triple in size just to get those nettles down me, rather than a £1.99 chicken from a probably a Pakistani owned company that slaughters them through halal. No mercy. Fuck that. I think we can still be savvy with our meat and make a point. After that conversation, I think if it wasn't for the fact that I'm still in the middle of a live stream, I would be sitting down and urinating 100%. Because looking at the male and female anatomy, right, the urethra is like that, right? So you've got stale. If you continue to urinate stood up, you keep that stagnant urine there, which just builds up with toxins, right? Whereas when you sit down like a woman does and has a wee, it goes like that. So it empties fully. Look it up. So blokes, I know it looks a bit gay to sit down and have a wee, but it's actually better for you. Just saying, the ladies have got it nailed again. Where were we? I've missed a few out. Bear with me, and I will catch up. Right, let me catch up. Well, that's a good point. That is, Ruth, in regards to halal, and as we're eating it, I have the opposite to a Mohican, more like a monk's haircut these days. Well, do you know what, mate? Friar Tuck ended up in the Midlands allegedly. Friar Tuck, and he had a little, a chunk missing. The opposite to a Mohican, and Friar Tuck rhymes with "don't give a fuck." So good on you, brother. I need to find a way to lose weight that doesn't put stress on my right foot. Oh my God, mate, I could give you 1,000 exercises to do. I have had a fractured heel for over 5 years now. Don't let anything get in your way, mate. Anything. If you'd like me to, right, if there's any particular part of your body that you want to work on the most, or if it's just upper body in general, or both, or whatever, just please just email me, mate, and I promise you I'll help you. I'll help you. I will. But you got to put the effort in, mate. It's the amount of people on, say, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th of January, like taking the girls out for a walk, loads of people out jogging, some of them, bit of meat on them, just jogging, right, wheezing away, chafing away, just, right, with the right eye fucking AirPods in, right, going away, right. I'm not seeing any of them now. And I go down there every single fucking day. This New Year's resolution thing's a load of bollocks. Why do you have to wait until the 1st of January and then go, oh, the 1st of January didn't land on a Monday, I'll wait till Monday. And then it's some other excuse, then it's some other excuse, then another excuse. There's a significant lack of self-discipline in this world right now. And I'm party to that. I've got my own things that I need to try and get in order and get into gear and knuckle down on. And I'm aware of that. I'm not fucking perfect. Far from it. But yeah, all I'm saying is that if you want some help, mate, I will help you. I will help you. I will. Because it's something I'm very enthusiastic about. And just email me and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But you've got to put the effort in, mate. You have. It's as simple as that. Sometimes it's like a car, right? That initial getting behind it because it's broken down and like putting all your fucking back into it and it starts to move, right? And then you put less effort into it because the car, to some degree, is working under its own steam. So it takes less effort to continue with that momentum, and then less effort, and then less effort, and that the powerful thing in front of it, which is your body, right? It just takes less and less effort to be optimum, to build that momentum. So it's just the initial stages, you just got to push yourself, and you'll be thinking, why the fuck didn't I do this years ago? You will. We've all got to get fit for what's ahead. Telling you, if you can't go up and down the stairs like 4 times without feeling, if you feel absolutely trolleyed after going up, coming down, going up, coming down, that's just 4 scales, up, down, up, down. If you feel absolutely fucked after doing something like that, just saying. With a healthy bit of metal now without the plod nicking me. Yeah. Silver linings, my friend. I watch Body Project and have been doing Tai Chi for beginners. Tai Chi's nice, but there's a lot of lies within that because you get a lot of Tai Chi instructors and a lot of Tai Chi videos that are AI and Tai Chi instructors that will just turn around to you and say, you're just not working hard enough, give me your money. You're just not doing that hard enough or often enough, give me your money. You don't need to pay to get fit. It's free. You can turn your entire fucking house into a gym. And I can show you how. again, email me with specific things, and I'll tell you for free what you can do around your home to improve those aspects of your life. Mainly, I'd say 90% just stuff that you've in your house, just in your house. You don't need a fucking guru. You are your guru. Everything you need and everything you know is already in you. You just need to unlock it. As woo-woo as that sounds, you know. But honestly, if anyone wants to, I'm so enthusiastic about this stuff, you know. So look, I'm not a qualified personal trainer. I'm no Bruce Lee. I'm nothing like that. I'm just me. I'm just Terry, you know. But I'm so enthusiastic about all this stuff that I'm more than happy to like, you know, give you a little bit of advice off here, you know, or on here. You know, it's up to you. We should be helping each other for free. Always. Because we're all in this, you know. Again, I was going to say we're all in this together, but again, that saying has just been wrecked by these sick, twisted fucks. And I was just thinking about Tony Blair earlier on, and I think you will all probably agree. Let me come back to that because I'm so far behind now. I know I am, and I'm sorry. And I say sorry when I mean it. To walk around with a healthy. I watch Body Project. I'll have to look into that. We're confessing our weaknesses tonight, and I think it's a good thing. I agree, Michael. I absolutely agree with that. You know, you have to be aware of them to be able to compensate. Don't want to make things worse through ignorance. Nah, exactly. But you're not ignorant, you're far from it. Most days I am on my feet from 6 a.m. ish to 9-10. My back kills most of the time, but had twisted pelvis when younger. Yeah, it's about right. Look, there's also a lot of evidence that. Oh, I'm going off on one again. Let me just get this quick out of the way. There's also a lot of evidence out there that stipulates that we're not optimal standing up. We would be better off walking around on all fours because our pelvis and our spine is designed that way. So has that been some sort of kind of intervention, you know, in our distant past, or, you know, are we a genetic modification of something that was you know, there's loads and loads of questions out there. I certainly don't believe that we came from chimps. So when you're on your feet because I'm the same, Jordan, when I'm up and I'm on my feet all day long. I don't sit down. But I think we're designed to kind of try and compensate for the fact that we're not actually meant to be stood up all the time either. So it's about trying to find that balance, you know, and making it work for you and listening to your body. So if your back starts to ache, you know, you're like, oh, fuck me, you know, because I do genuinely know that feeling, mate. Believe me. Then try and see if you can continue with another task whilst you sat down, but you've still got your back straight, you know, because so many of us slouch, and slouching's not good for us either. There are so many questions into our origins and our biological structure, our skeletal structure. The whole evolution thing. Anyway, every item with the halal, halal logo, whether it be bread, or Warburtons, right? Remember this, folks. Don't buy Warburtons. But, you know, people will go, well, if I don't buy Warburtons, then someone else is going to, it doesn't make any difference. If everyone thought like that, fuck all would be done. Nothing would be done. Be the change you want to see. Just saying. Pringles, fuck me. I don't eat those fucking things anyway. Even Marmite. Oh my God. I had no idea. I went to a physiotherapist. I was up on all. Do you fuckers do this on purpose? Because I'm curious because you know how it's going to go. I went to physiotherapy. I was up on all fours on the bench. She told me to arch my back and release happy cat. I was like, what the fuck? Lady Geek, I am with you in the camp of what the fuck as well. So, but thank you for making me. How far behind am I? Oh my God. We're confessing out. Right. Okay. I know I'm so far behind. I find acupuncture helps with my back problems. I've heard a lot of good things about acupuncture. Again, it's a practice that's gone back thousands of years, you know, so it's holistic. You're not going to get your GP turn around and go, right, well, it's it's your coccyx and the next two bones up in your spine, if I was to put it into layman's terms for you, Mr. Blah, blah, blah. So what I suggest is that you take these painkillers and you'll get some side effects from these painkillers. So here's some pills for the side effects from that as well. And here's some heroin, here's some crack, because they're just fucking drug dealers. Whereas this is ancient medicine, you know, of people that truly understood the anatomy of the human being body, you know, where all the nerve endings are, where all the pressure points are, everything. They mapped it thousands of years ago. So now it's all woo-woo, you know, because popping pills is the new norm. So you can continue to pop your pills or find another way. Do you know what are in these pills that you're popping? No, you're putting all your faith, all of your trust into an institution that wants you dead, from a doctor that isn't a healer, he's a dealer, because he's getting kickbacks from pharmaceutical companies for pushing certain medications. It's very, very lucrative being a GP. And that's all true. GPs rent a room like a hairstylist or a barber rents a chair. Yeah, just be aware. Just be aware. If you've got a bad back, be aware of it. But that's another bad thing about painkillers, right? Is those painkillers again, fuck knows what they're made from, because it was a, you know, somewhere along the line, trace it back, the Rockefellers were involved, right? So they mask the pain, and that's your body's way of saying, "Oi, Terry, what? There's something not quite right down here. I think you might need to do something to put it right. If you've got something wrong with your tooth, you'll get pain. You feel pain, your body's saying there's something wrong here. And there's a natural way of dealing with that. But along came the Rockefellers, and it's that, you know, we'll just mask. We'll mask it. We don't want to fix you, because then we've lost a customer. We just want to mask it. That's all. So when you're walking around with a bad back and you're taking super strong, addictive, I mean, I've got dihydrocodeine. Probably again, I give way too much away about me and my personal life, but I do think that in certain circumstances it can help other people, right? I know someone, I've only met one, but I know that there are lots and lots of other people out there. I know someone who's a mutual friend of me and Michael, who was addictive and almost had his life destroyed by dihydrocodeine. It's an opiate painkiller, right? And it can be extremely addictive. Now, I'm going to openly admit on, and I know that my brain's saying don't, you know. I'm prescribed 6 a day for my back, and I take 2 when it's bad. So I've stockpiled a very efficient, very effective painkiller moving forward to help other people. Now, I hope that, you know, this doesn't come back to bite me in the arse in some way, because this is all out in the internet now, you know. So I've never been addicted to them, but I know personally one man that was, and it fucked him up. He's all right now, you know, but it fucks him up, and it fucks up a lot of people because they're very, very addictive. I never got addicted to them, you know. I know I could, because I know how they can make you feel. But another bad thing about dihydrocodeine, on top of the addictive element of it, of which I never lie to you. I never ever lie to you. I'm not addicted to them, and I don't take them very often. Again, that's why I'm not happy about admitting that, because I want to make sure that they keep coming so I can keep stockpiling them. And I just hope that doesn't come to bite me in the arse. But then I'm paying for them. So fuck it, you know, they're mine. Is that they can mask the pain that your body is trying to tell you need to do something to try and mitigate this problem. And a lot of people with back pain, there is a lot you can do. There's a lot you can do, but it takes self-discipline again, you know, which a lot of people lack. It's like, you know, they'll get, again, I gave an analogy earlier on. The New Year's resolution, I've just burped. I do apologize. I normally say, excuse me, but I was on a roll. The New Year's resolution thing. It's like, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to start jogging. And they buy some dog. It's like, John, what? Can you buy me some good trainers? I'm going to start jogging in New Year. That's my resolution. As she smokes a fag and finishes a pint of lager, right? Which I also get. Have a blowout before you commit yourself to a New Year's resolution. But why do you need to wait until the new year? Why don't you do it today? Why don't you do it yesterday? Why didn't you do it the day before? Because of a lack of self-discipline. But there is a lot you can do to help with your bad back. There's loads of exercises, loads. Again, if you suffer from a bad back and you're addicted to painkillers, right? And you don't want to put it in the chat, and I would understand that, email me, because I understand where you're coming from. There are ways to mitigate back pain. There are. Without taking drugs. And then on top of that, you get all of the endorphins or of the exercise that you've done, you know, that you get to relax normally. You get to feel cool, chilled, you know, normally. So many benefits. But yeah, honestly, Jordan, get in touch. With the Hello logo, whether it be bread. I can't, again, Warburton's, Hobis, you know, they were big names when we were kids, you know, and you have all the pretty pictures of the little farm and all of the wheat growing and all that. Then and it's a look, they make it look like a, you know, dog's bollocks just fresh out of a granny's oven type looking loaf, you know. And then you flip it over, which most people don't, and have a look at the ingredients list, and it's ridiculous. Yeah, right. Yeah, we did go over the old Lady Geek being on all fours, and I do apologise that, you know, I'm an innuendo kind of guy. It just comes out. I can't help it. It's not a sordid thing. It's nothing like that. It's a traditional, old-fashioned Englishman. That's what I am, and our humour is, you know, you go to all of the old seaside resorts, Blackpool, Skegness, and all of that, and you'd have, like, you know, cheeky little toilet humour postcards, naughty, you know. It's part of our heritage. It's not a bad thing, you know. I really want to get back into HEMA. Sword fighting is very energetic. Yeah. Well, yeah, but yeah. So anything that's not going to put your previous injury back into a problem again, that's going to make you end up being more and more restricted. So yeah, but anything that's fast that you can do that's not going to, and you know, create, you know, the same problem or make it worse as what was restricting you in the first place, then do it. And especially if it's like proper cardio intensive. Again, I recommend that to anyone. A proper hardcore cardio workout. But again, if you've got high blood pressure, and again, I've got something natural for that. If you've got high blood pressure, or if you're diabetic or something like that, you've got, again, you need to, there's a science behind that. You've got to try and work a way around that. And I do think there's a cure for diabetes as well. And that's another conversation that so many, have you noticed that nearly all prepping channels now have turned into a fucking news channel? They're just looking at this, looking at that, consolidating together and then giving you the news that you could find anywhere else, anywhere. But no one's really talking about people that have got diabetes where you need to have insulin. Now, it's a conversation that needs to be had. Let me just get on top of the comments first. On guard, yeah. Parlay. For anyone with restless leg syndrome, I used to have that. And again, they've got a medication for that. Can you believe that? They've got a medication for everything. It's all about the Wonga. I found calf stretchers has helped me a lot after years of trying to ease it. Nice one, Jordan, because that is a big problem for a lot of people, especially when they're trying to just chill out and go to sleep, which for a lot of us is challenging itself, you know. So yeah, maybe give that a go if anyone's got that problem. Mine's periodic, so but I'll bear that in mind now. It's gone in. Strange you mentioned that. I heard restless leg syndrome for a couple of years, but I had it, but it went away. Yeah, it can be spasmodic. So, you know, again, it can come, it can go, and there's no, unless you're paying a strict attention to your day-to-day living and your lifestyle, the healthy parts, the not so healthy parts, then you're not going to be able to build up a picture of what triggered it, you know, because if you know what triggered it, then you can stop doing that and get a better night's sleep. But again, it's like me. I'm the same. Sometimes it kicks in, you know, and I'll get a shitter night's sleep than normal. And then it just disappears for months. So, and I pretty much do the same thing. I don't really, there don't seem to be any rhyme or reason other than maybe EMF. I know I'm really far behind here because I'm just reading Michael's the painkillers only mask the problem. Yeah, exactly. So they're just disguising it. So you're not getting around to fixing the problem yourself, and you can do it. You know, in most cases, you can help yourself. With your back, you need to try and work on your core muscles, and there's loads of exercises you can do, loads. And another annoying thing that I find about the NHS that just points more and more and more to the point that they just want to make money out of you, they don't want to fix you, is that they never recommend you going to a chiropractor. And a good chiropractor will just make you feel how you were meant to feel, even if it's not for long, because you've already got that weak spot, hence working on your core muscles. It just goes to show that they want to just keep you in the loop, just keep making more and more money out of you whilst grinding you into the fucking floor. Whereas you get fixed and you get fit, you're on it, you know? Right, what's next? We'll take it up to 3 hours if that's all right with you, you know, because I would like to take the girls out for one last walk. What time is it? Yeah, I would like to take them out for a walk. And I think 4 hours is just a bit too much, you know. It is. Not always. In fact, most of the time, it's like, right, it's 4 hours. We need to just knock it on the head because it's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. It's just practical sense. But I just think I can just give you, you know, a little bit more of me, you know, when I'm not pissed and I can take my girls out for a bit of a walk and feel the wind in my hair. And I've got no idea where that came from. Anyway, back to the chat. Yeah, it's very annoying normally when relaxing or just getting to sleep. Yeah, that's when it kicks in for me. It's so frustrating because there's nothing you can do about it. And then you've got this line, right? That's awake, that's asleep. And as soon as it's usually when I just start to dip, and then it's like, oh, you're right up there again. It's so annoying. But thankfully, I mean, some people have that constantly. Can you imagine? Every night. So again, silver linings. It's not that bad for me, you know. Do stretches before bed. Maybe you eased a nerve. That helps. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? No painkiller for me. Deep heat. Again, but deep heat, what's it made of? And bearing in mind that your skin just it sucks in anything that you put on it, anything. It absorbs it, right? So sunscreen, for example, people go on holiday, it's like sunscreen, yeah, right? Leave that fucking shit at home. In fact, pick it up, put your foot down on the pedal, put it in the bin, watch the lid close, then go on a holiday, right? Because this suntan cream, working with the sun's rays onto your skin, whilst it's absorbing, skin cancers have never ever been so prevalent ever, right? So you need to start asking why, which is what a lot of people just don't seem to do. Not wearing sunglasses, you don't get burned as much because you're not tricking your eyes. We weren't born with fucking sunglasses. You know, work with what you were born with. You were born with what you were born with for a reason. So last year was the first year I didn't wear any sunglasses apart from driving in the car because of glare, right? But when I've been out and about, you know, no sunglasses, and I didn't burn, not really. Whereas every single year, I'm such a sun worshipper, right? I get burned, and I look in the window, and I'm thinking, yeah, I look really fucking healthy as my skin's just peeling off my face, I'm like in strips. Yeah, I love the colour though, right? That's not good. Burning, literally burning your skin is not good for you. That's not normal. It's not natural. So don't wear sunglasses. So your eyes are taking in the correct information from the world around you, and your skin will react accordingly. 100%. And you put all that chemical shit into you, have your fucking melanomas. Go for it. Fill your fucking boots. Yeah, so anyway, deep heat. Yeah, deep heat. You know, you're spraying it onto your skin. Your skin is absorbing that into your body, into your bloodstream, the whole fucking shebang. What is it? To me, to you. Now, fair enough. This is a cheaper version of deep heat. The only thing that this is useful for is pepper spray. That's it. Just saying, Jordan. And I wouldn't say any of that if I didn't want to fucking help you out, mate. Albus oil, yeah, as long as it's, you know, again, it's trying to do a little bit of digging into the company and where, you know, when it's something you're going to use on a regular basis, and ibuprofen's not good for your gut biome. Again, that's another point I was going to make, is that this is the last live stream where you're going to see me having a drink. So, and I think I've done every live stream having a drink, so I've kind of like chilled into it, you know. So I'm a little bit nervous about, I don't know why, a little bit nervous about doing a completely sober live stream with you, but that's going to be the case because I fucking hate hypocrisy, and I've been a hypocrite. And it was a realization that should have been there from the start, that I harp on so much about a good, healthy gut biome, because that is one of your main defenses. As long as you don't have anything injected into you, or you're taking pills that you don't know what the fuck it is, or rubbing cream to protect you from the sun, you know, when you don't know what the fuck it is, or putting deep heat spray onto your skin when you don't know what the fuck it is. Your skin is the biggest organ on and in your body, right? That's probably number one of your defenses. Or no, it's a balance between the two. And your other one is your gut biome. Trying to get that balance between the good and the bad bacteria, because the good needs the bad bacteria to some degree because it feeds off it. And then the bad bacteria just, there's such a science to it. Please look into it. The point I'm trying to make is that when you when COVID started and everyone was like, oh, where's that? There's not enough alcohol gel. £15 for a bottle this big. I'll pay it because I need to make sure I don't die. I'm saving granny, right? So that alcohol squirty stuff, right? All of those, all of the bacteria on your hands and in between your fingers and all that was killed, or about between 90 and 95% of it, right? That's alcohol killing bacteria. I love analogies. What's vodka? What's gin? What's rum? What's ouzo? So you've worked all week on building up your half decent gut biome because you know the facts and you know how important it is, only to fucking go and sterilize it on a Friday or a Saturday night, or both. Completely sterilize it and then start from scratch again, pretty much. So this will be the last live stream where I've got a drink, because I'll only be drinking at like weddings or funerals or parties or barbecues and stuff like that, special occasions, and that's it. You know, no more binging at weekend. That's it. I'm telling you, the amount of fucking damage this shit is doing to society right now is horrendous. Horrendous. You know, even during Rona, right? The Rona bollocks. It was like, it's not essential. That's not essential. That's not essential. Oh, well, what can I buy? You can go down the alcohol aisle. That's essential. Go down there. That was well open, wide open. Fill your fucking boots as you get more and more and more depressed. So all I'm saying is that maybe consider knocking alcohol on the head. Because if you're anything like me, one glass isn't enough. I'm actually okay, believe it or not, I'm actually okay if I just leave it alone. You know, not have a drink. I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine. But I can't just have one. And I think that there's a massive chunk of society right now that's a mixture between people that can't just have one and people that can't do without one. It's fucking terrible. I'm telling you, it's fucking society up, this stuff. So if you're thinking about knocking this on the head, you know, I'll do it with you. I'll do it with you. You know, email me. But you got to be fucking disciplined. Discipline yourself. It's doable. I do it when I don't drink. I do it. You know, I just don't drink. But in most aspects of my life, I'm an all or nothing guy. Now taken out. Was that a Tetley Teabags ad? I'm just reading it's gone up a little bit. I'm really, really sorry if I've missed any of your comments, because I like to read every one out, but I need to catch up now, and I've fallen behind. I get passionate about shit, you know. Yeah, exactly. If it says fortified with this, fortified with that, just go, oh, it's fortified with loads of stuff. I'll put it back. It's short. I'm a shade lover. Are you, Dave? Are you ginger? Are you ginger, lad? Don't worry about it. Hey, look, I've got a very good ginger friend, you know, and I think that should be the new cool thing to say. Like, people used to think it was a cool thing to say, yeah, I've got a black friend. Yeah. Well, I've got a ginger friend. Are you ginger? It's not a bad thing, mate. Don't worry about it. Where was I? I'm seeing loads of innuendos. It's just how my brain works, you know. Right, let's focus, Terry. Problems can be a mystery, very difficult to diagnose. Yeah, they can, and there's a lot of people out there that pretend they've got a bad back when I've got X-ray evidence, CT scan evidence that, you know, I've lost an inch in height in a year. Lost an inch. Nah. WD-40 is another effective pepper spray. Oh, I didn't really think about that, Mike. I never really thought about it like that. But I would, if it was like, right, I'm going out, I know that there's going to be loads of cockroaches out there, and maybe they want a rook, you know? If they want a rook, let's have a fucking rook. I'm going to take WD-40 or DP. I'm going to take DP, because if I lose, WD-40 doubles up as an actual fucking lube. I don't miss the booze at all. I used to drink a lot. Yeah, I think most of us have gone through that phase, you know. But some of us have just got addictive personalities, and I think I get that from my mum. I think it's a genetic thing. And again, that's not a cop out. I think it's a legitimate scientific fact. But it's how you choose to move forward that counts. You know, do you think, oh, my mum was an alcoholic, so I need to be an alcoholic? That's not the fucking case. You're responsible for you. You are. I don't receive the booze at all. I used to drink a lot. I've even given up smoking. Well, apart from a bit of pot every now and then. Lol. Yeah, mate. Hey, whatever, you know, whatever fucking mellows. Look, you know, what they say is wrong, and what is wrong are very, very skewed. Very. But giving up smoking is no mean feat. But then you're still feeding your smoking addiction a little bit unless you're smoking pure weed. Just saying. And then there are a lot of people that swap one habit for another habit. And it's like, no, I need to stop this. It's not good for me to go on to another one. Whereas, again, it's a little bit like the lily pad to lily pad thing, right? I love analogies. So many people in this world, in one way or another, go from lily pad to lily pad to lily pad to lily pad. When in actual fact, what they need to do is learn to swim in between each lily pad. And to some degree, you know, I need to take my own advice in some areas of my life. And again, admitting to shit like that is good for you. It is. You get to learn to know a lot more about yourself. That's a good thing. I'll have to look more into Olbers and DP. I could do with a bit of W. Yeah, me too. I don't squeak as much as I did, but that's because I stay quite active, you know. But when I used to sit around and slob around, and I'd feel these little squeaking. But then I do think that these supplements have made a difference to my life. I do. I urge everyone to start getting into making your own supplements. You know, I've never turned around and gone, buy mine. You know, buy mine. I've never ever done that. I would rather you made your own. I'm not in this to make money. I never was. You know, but if I find something that's made a difference to me, I should pass that on. It should never cost anyone anything to pass that sort of stuff on. Ever. You know, I'm only going to give this bit of information to you, but I'm going to give this amount of information to my members. You know, what the fuck? And they're meant to be part of this with us. Just saying. Anyone that thinks that they're going to be able to make a living enough to survive on YouTube whilst being a proper, true, authentic truther is fucking delusional. You should be doing it for the love. That's it. As long as you're not losing out financially, then you should be doing this for free. Did you just stop or cut down gradually, Dave? Yeah, I've been putting the money I've been saving into preps. Oh, I love that. Oh, you know, when I read comments like that, it makes me fucking buzz instantly, you know, because you've taken it from something that could give you lung cancer, right? So you've taken the money that you were spending on that and ploughing it into preps. Now, chances are 99.9% of your preps, if you've thought it through, right, is in no possible way a waste of money. In fact, it potentially could do the absolute opposite of what those cigarettes could do for you. How fucking mad is that? So go on, Dave. I fucking love shit like that. And if people could do that with alcohol, you know, it'll all mount up. Before you know it, you'll have a solar generator and then solar panels, you know, or some silver or a bit of gold or a bit of copper. just from not taking stuff in that could eventually help towards just little things like killing you, you know. I'd love to stop smoking. I find it so hard. I've tried patches, but nothing works. Do you know what, Lady Geek? There's a lot of scientific evidence out there that's because we've got natural receptors in our brains for nicotine, which means that we've evolved around this stuff. We're designed to take it in because we've got receptors for it. But I don't think we were designed to take in the shit that they're selling us. So if you want to continue to smoke, the main reason I was mentioning this is because most smokers are more relaxed, and that affects their immune system in a lot of ways. There is the lung cancer issue, which is very real. But if you smoke natural tobacco, the chances of you getting lung cancer is significantly reduced. But that can still maintain a calmer person. There's a lot of studies out there, and not all of them are dodgy. And then all you need to do is just put a little bit of common sense in there as well, because it makes sense, So I don't recommend that anyone smokes. I'm not going to encourage anyone to start smoking. Never. But there is a lot of evidence out there that states that people who smoke are less stressed. So, but hey, do your own research. I'm Terry the Tripod, I know fuck all. I can't do the quick down business. You see, I stopped smoking. I just stopped. And I thought it was dead easy, but according to Sally, I was a fucking nightmare. But I can't remember that. I thought, oh, this is a doddle, and I did it for about 6 months. And then we went on holiday into Gran Canaria, not the most cultural of places we could, but it was cheap, very, very, very cheap. 219 quid each, all in. You won't get anything like that now. It's impossible. But anyway, I was just sat on a balcony and I was watching the sun coming down over this little sort of harbour thing, and it was red hot, and I was just so fucking chilled out, man. And I had, I had a stereotypical Brit abroad, a big fucking glass of sangria, right? And I was just sat there drinking it, and I was just thinking, this is beautiful. And it was quite high up. We had a little balcony, our own private balcony. Oh, hi, hello. It was completely private. It was beautiful. And I thought, do you know what? It'd just be nice. Again, it's the image. What's the difference between you being on a park bench, wearing scruffy clothes, stinking of piss, right? Off your tits, drinking Frosty Jacks or White Lightning, right, out of a 2-litre plastic bottle, right? What's the difference between that and you drinking regularly a nice fine red wine, 1 or 2 bottles a night, on a beautiful £4,000 Chesterfield leather sofa in front of an impressive open fire in a 7-bedroomed house. What's the difference? What's the difference? The picture, the image. Whereas there's not much of a difference between the two. You're both alcoholics. Oh my God, I went right off track there now. I've forgotten what I was what I started off with. But that is the truth. You know, it's people romanticizing it. It's people putting classes in between everything, when in actual fact it's all the same. You know, whether you're drinking Frosty Jack's cider that's never seen a fucking apple in its life, or you're drinking a fine wine, a 1967 Pervin whatever, right? You're drinking a couple of them every fucking night. There's no difference between the two of you. None. Apart from that. Oh, I've lost my way. I'm sorry. I haven't lost my way. I know my way. You're not Ginger Dave. Oh, fucking hell. Well, that's fucked up my next 10 jokes. So thank you, Dave. Further down, can you just say, actually, I lied. I am Ginger. Sorry, Terry. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. I'm so far behind. I'm so sorry. Not misleading, Michael. Just good for stiff joints. I'm not quite sure what that was for. I've had to jump forward. I've defo got an addictive personality. A lot of us have, Lady Geek. Loads of us have. You know, including myself. And I do think that comes from my mum's side. You know, a lot of these things are genetically passed down to you. They are, which makes it more difficult for you to get a grip on it. But it's still down to you to not follow on that thing. You know, don't follow it on. It's going to be more challenging for you because of the genetics, the addictive personality genetics. But it's still down to you as a person. You don't have to be. It's like, you know, when people get sent down for fucking horrible crimes, and then they turn around and go, he had a really, really horrible upbringing. You know, fuck off. Again, do you want to compare upbringings? I've not turned out to be a rapist. I've not turned out to be a woman beater. I've not turned out to be a cunt. I've not turned out to be an alcoholic. I've not turned out to be a drug addict. It's a pathetic fucking cop-out. It is. I hate shit like that. We are all in control of ourselves. If you fuck up, you fucked up. Nothing else, and no one else is to blame. So, yeah, there could be loads of caveats to that. I wish I'd not said that now. Like, oh my God, countless amounts. But I hope you get the gist of what I was trying to say. So I don't have to go down that 1 million fucking caveats that I've just come up with. But you are in control of your destiny in so many more ways than you give yourself credit for. Just don't be a victim. You know, don't ever adopt a victim mentality, ever, because people will just distance themselves away from you. You know, because you just be an emotional fucking vampire. If you grow into yourself and become the fucking solid man that you were meant to be, or the solid woman that you were meant to be, no one will feel like that you're feeding off them. You know, if anything, you'll be applying energy to them. Oh man, I hope that makes sense to someone. Oh, where was I? We want to make, start making rosehip and elderberry tonics. Mate, the rosehip one is the dog's bollocks, but try and get it after a frost. That's where I failed. Because the weather's all getting weird, mate. You know, there are figs. You know the fig tree that I nicked a few figs off. It was overhanging into a public area. So as far as I was concerned, it's public, right? Well, it had to take someone to go, actually, it's still thieving. Fuck off. I never broke into their garden or anything like that, you know. But the vast majority of the figs that were on that bush, not far from where I am, the vast majority of them didn't mature. They're still on there. They're still green and they're still not fully grown. That's not normal. I'm seeing, even in sort of late December, I was seeing buds coming through on trees and bushes and plants. Oh, I don't know how I got onto that. But yeah, rose hips. So rose hips and hawthorns, just very quickly, it's good for them to have a really good frost first, because then the plant will pump it full of way more nutrients. So then you can get a way better tincture, right? I didn't do that, but it still works. So imagine how, if you follow those steps, imagine how fucking impressive that would be. But tinctures, again, can you make, have you got the means to make pure organic 95% alcohol? Have you? I doubt it very much, because I haven't. Although I think that distiller could do it, but I don't know what I'm doing with it. Not that advanced. So if you're going to start making tinctures, I suggest that you start buying the stuff in whilst it's available. Just saying, you know, because things are going to become more and more and more less available. So if you're going to crack on with tinctures, and that's given me a kick up the arse as well, mate, because I could do with buying another 5 litres, because 5 litres will give you 10 litres of different tinctures. So it sounds expensive, nearly 100 quid, maybe a little bit over 100 quid now for 5 litres of proper organic stuff. Again, send me your email and I'll show you what I've got. Again, this is a predominantly prepping channel, so sharing stuff like this is important, because making your own herbal remedies, organic extraction ethanol, and it's made, I can't remember who I bought it off. Email me and I'll pass the details on for you. It's not a cheap initial outlay, but again, it's spot on organic medicine that does the job. You can get all your little cough syrups and all your fucking decongestion tablets, and what the fuck are in those liquids and those tablets? What are in them? Do you ever ask yourself? So if you can make your own stuff from organic material, you know what it is, and you've made it. You've been out and picked the berries. You've been out and picked or you've ordered the root in if you can't get hold of the root, and then roots that you can get hold of that you can make tinctures out of. The list is endless, you know. And as you move along, you learn more and more and more and more and more. And that could be another income further down the line. Doing that, making tinctures, you know, washing cars, trimming hedges for people, just for food, just so you can stay out of the system. Once you've signed up to that digital system, your ass is theirs. Find a way. Organically grown tobacco, surely better than shop tobacco. Yeah, definitely. Although I think Michael's got the whole curing process down way better than I have, you know, and I take my hat off to him. I did a few turns on shite frightening. Oh, shite frightening. Oh, you lost me there, but it is a very interesting. I do like the sound of shite frightening. It's definitely a fitting name. I don't know what that was. See, I'm so behind. Nope, but I am looking into high volume alcohol. I was thinking of buying a few bottles of Everclear Looney Juice. I've never heard of Everclear. Just honestly, Michael, stick to organic, and everything that you put in there, you know, just make sure everything's natural. Everything we eat, everything that we drink, everything that we wear, everything should be natural. And we're doing a tiny fraction of that. And they've nudged us into this direction, bit by bit by bit, to the point where most people have just not noticed it. The boiling frog. It's fucking crazy. Right on. Oh, good night, Lady Geek. I'm sorry I missed you, sweetheart. I got behind, as I usually do. It's 3:30. That closed down at 3:00, went out the window, didn't it? So we'll bring it now down to a nice gentle close now, because I do need to take these out. But I do urge anyone that's struggling with alcohol, please consider knocking it on the head, because I was told years and years ago, it will catch up with you. It will. And I know it will. So even though I don't drink during the week, generally speaking, I make up for it on a Friday night or a Saturday night. You know, I didn't drink anything last night because I was a bit rough for whatever reason. So I've made up for it tonight, you know. So that all of that healthy gut biome that I've built up over the last, 6 days has just been cleansed with alcohol, like you do with alcohol gel to clear your hands of bacteria. So it's just not good. It's not good. And I go on and on about trying to improve that aspect of your life because it's so important. It really, really is. When I'm not doing it myself, it's fucking hypocrisy. So I'm gonna. This is to top my glass up. When I finish this, my goblet, my wooden goblet, we'll close down and we'll all go and get our heads down. It's probably a lot cheaper than that. Yeah, well, that was how it was sold to me. But at the time I was thinking, how is that cheaper? You know, it was a fucking lot of money for a little five litre little bottle. You know, I'm thinking that was a lot of money. That was, but then it only occurred to me after I'd made the tinctures that I only needed half of the alcohol that I'd used, because both of the compounds, which was the rosehips and the hawthorns, are water soluble. So it's the water that draws it out. And again, there are better ways of drawing it out. Again, I'm only just going down this avenue of knowledge. Chelsea Star, you know, she knows all about all of this stuff. She sent me so much information, and it just blew my mind. So I'm just learning. But it does work out incredibly cheap, because if you buy, say 100 quid, imagine if you bought a bottle of vodka, which is 80 proof, so 40% alcohol, but it's 80 proof, right? So that's only 40% alcohol, but you're still paying like 15 quid, say 15 quid. So you add up all those bottles, you're getting nowhere near as much alcohol as this. Nowhere near. Because the proof and the volume is different. So you get to double up. So 5 litres of this stuff turns into 10. It can turn into 12, depending on what it is you're turning into a tincture. 13 maybe. It goes a long way. It's just that I learned the hard way, which, hand on heart, I prefer, because it goes in and it stays in, you know. You never ever remember major fuck ups, non-major fuck ups. You remember the major fuck ups, and then you learn by it, you know. So the school of hard knocks, you know, learning the hard way is always the best way to learn, always. Common sense talk, Lady Geek, good night. Shite, frightening, white lightning. Ah, right. I've got you now, Dave. I've got you now. And it was magic, crazy. And there was a time when I was, again, this is when I was homeless. And then back in the days where you were put into some sort of priority list because you were homeless. Now, you know, it's like, we've got a flat here. Oh, fantastic. Unga bunga. Come on, got a flat here for you. Got a flat here. Oh, thank God. Ranjit Mohammed Bahand. Come on, we've got a flat here for you. What about all these families that have been waiting for those flats? Or what about all these homeless people that have been waiting for these flats for the last 5 years? Fuck them. Fuck them. Yeah, alcoholism. Sorry. Oh man. So I was homeless for a while, and then I was put onto some sort of priority list, and I was put in I was referred to a charity, a Christian charity. You know, I'm not a Christian charity that were lovely, and they gave me this flat, right? And that just got me off the streets. And then whilst I was in that flat, and that charity was registered with the council, that bumped me up, and I ended up getting my own flat. But by then I was pretty, you know, I wasn't in a great place. and the shop was literally across the road. And I remember having a broken window that I broke myself by accident because I was hammered, you know. And there was broken glass that I never got around to sweeping up because I was always constantly pissed. And I used to go over the road and drink White Lightning and Frosty Jacks and a 2-litre bottle of lemonade to make it taste better. And I'd just be pissed all the time, walking on broken glass, going over to the shop in just pajama bottoms. I was in a state. You can come back from all of this shit, and I'm testament to that. Yeah, the boiling frog is a very, very good analogy, but I'm hearing more and more and more that analogy was actually made up. I don't know if it was or not, but regardless, it doesn't really matter because it's still a great analogy. It doesn't matter, you know. Even better if it never actually happened, because it's an analogy that still works, but without any fucking animals being tortured. You know, a win-win. I'm off to bed now. Thanks. Yeah, nice one, Dave, mate, and much love, my brother. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. Just enjoy it, but make the most of it. You know, do shit. Sleep well. Get those doggos walked. Yeah, I know, mate. I know. Yeah. I'm just hoping I've not left this on a negative, you know, because I don't like that. I really don't. In fact, no, I don't think I have. I don't think I have, because I'm not riches. But I've had the rags to riches analogy. I'm not rich, far from it, but it just goes to show that you can go from properly scraping the bottom of the pit to try and get out, and then get out of that pit and then get sent into an even fucking deeper one, and then get back out of that, and then adorn your armor, sharpen your sword, and get ready for fucking battle. So I'm just telling you, it's doable. Just believe in yourself. I must be an expert graduate from the School of Hard Knocks by now. I've learned so many lessons from it. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautifully sad thing, but absolutely necessary. The more shit you go through, as long as you survive it, the more shit you go through, the better the person that you will become. As long as you survive it, you've got to keep surviving it. No matter how many fucking rhinos come at you, keep standing up and moving forward. And the knocks become less impactful. As long as you don't lose your humanity, just don't lose that. You've got to hold on to that and pass it on. I'm in a better mood than earlier, so it's positive for me. I'm glad, Dave. I am. Good night, my friend. Yeah, make sure you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Right, I want to take my bitches out. I do think that was a positive ending. I think I do, because it was very meaningful, very sincere, and very real, and very true, very doable. You know, everything you need's in you. Just dig. Sometimes you need to dig a bit deeper. You know, and you'll get there. You'll get there. We've got some tough times ahead. We have. Very tough. And you'll be tested. But you've come this far and you've managed to maintain your sanity. Look around. A lot of people aren't. You are. So if you've got this far, right, and you're more knowledgeable of what's ahead of you, so you're more prepared, you'll fucking nail it. You know? You will. Have faith in yourself, in yourself, in yourself. Aim it inwards. That's where it belongs. So, you know, I know it sounds cheesy. I know it does, but I've got to say it. You know, thank you for spending your time with me. You know, thank you. Time. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and imagine that tomorrow wasn't ever going to come, right? Imagine if we could try and live like that, like every day was our last, but we don't. Why is that? Anyway, I'll see you on the flip side. Much love and ciao for now.